I'm ConicalFlak.
I'm Astrius.
That's Astrius. We're going to get this going straight away because we're running a little bit behind. So, we've done a little bit of off-screen stuff for setups. I'll explain a little bit as we go. Renaming characters, Felix, exclamation mark, actually important. Everyone else gets one letter. Ready to start a timer in 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, welcome. This is Golden Sun: The Lost Age.
The second one.
The second one. We're not doing the first one today. We're doing the second one. This is a new category that we routed basically just for this event, which is awesome. This is Doom Dragon %. Rules are, kill the Doom Dragon, the final boss, as fast as possible. No doing arbitrary code execution. Everything else is fair game. So we're going to cheat a lot and skip lots of the game.
Cheat.
Cheating is fun. Unfortunately, there are still lots of cutscenes to mash through because it's not a JRPG unless 50% of the playtime is cutscene mashing.
Oh, of course.
So the first 10 minutes, lots of this. There's about a 15-minute block in the middle of the run that is more of this, and then the rest is actually pretty good. It's actually not that bad, this category.
You've built it around the idea of showcasing a lot of the stuff
Pretty
that you wouldn't
much,
normally
yeah.
see in the various other speedruns.
Yeah. So the big thing we can do, or I'm going to be doing in this category, is saving and quitting. So the main categories for both the Golden Sun games is no save and quit. And the reason for that is because saving and quitting and reloading the game allows you to very precisely control the RNG. So we kind of like having to deal with RNG shenanigans in speedruns because it's, you know, how you show off your skill as a runner. You know, oh, how do I clear this encounter as quickly as possible sort of stuff. We have essentially a perfect understanding of the RNG in this game. So by gaining control of it, I can make the game kind of do whatever I want, which is really fun. I think it's fun. Most people don't. I think it's fun. I can call encounters as it happens. It also allows me to get out of bounds in places where you would not normally be able to get out of bounds, which means I can skip lots of stuff because out of bounds is fun. But we'll explain out of bounds stuff when we get to it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the save and quit stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Because of the, like, almost clairvoyant behavior you end up exhibiting. Also, like, rounding it out yourself is always a bit fun to sort of carve your own path through the RNG as you go.
Yeah, so I didn't route all of this myself. There's some stuff. The first sort of 45 minutes of this is basically the same as the any % route. The any % route for this game is under an hour, which is crazy. We just basically get to Ayers Rock with Cyclone as fast as possible and do arbitrary code execution to do a credits warp. Yeah. It's awesome. It's very, very silly that it works. We use you do it using the password. You load random, like a very specific string of text into the password and make the game read it as code. It's very silly.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's very silly. But the first sort of 45 minutes of this route is very similar to that. So a lot of the manipulations were taken from that, which are very good. Regnatrace, shout outs to Regnatrace, who came up with a lot of that stuff. Plexer as well, did a lot of work on that, and myself. But then after that, yeah, it gets wild, particularly towards the end. When you get to the end game and you're hopelessly under-leveled, this run gets silly. All right, we have control. Jenna running through Venus Lighthouse. This overlaps with the end of the first game. First game ends with Isaac and Co. at the top of this having a big boss battle. Hey, I did the hardest menu in the game.
Yes.
That's the text speed menu. In that first cutscene, text loads at 1 character per frame. It now loads at 1 word per frame because I said it's fast. So, yay. Shoutouts to every single Golden Sun runner who forgot to do that in their first run and did an entire run with slow text. Myself included. But yeah, so this overlaps with the end of the first game where you play as Isaac and his party are currently at the top of the lighthouse trying to stop the lighthouse is being lit and alchemy coming into the world and bad things happening.
Yeah, the story of Golden Sun spans over 2 games. I think they wanted to put it on one, but they couldn't fit it all. So
that's the common story, but I think it was split quite early on in development. But there are still holdovers from Golden Sun 2 in Golden Sun 1, like some functionality to have 8 party members, that sort of thing. A couple of items technically in Golden Sun 1, although they don't work very well.
Yeah, but so this is like we've basically jumped in halfway through a story, but we're now in a different person's perspective because the protagonist of the first game is at the very top of that lighthouse or close to it, fighting for dear life and for the future of the world, or so they think.
So for this particular category, story's not that important because we actually skip a fair bit of it. Like, you know, Jupiter Lighthouse exists, right? Not according to this category. No,
not at all.
You skip like 2-hour sections of the game, like 2-hour speedrun sections of the game. It's a bit silly. Should probably, given I'm going to be RNG manipulating my way through this game for the next 3 hours, I should probably explain how it works. So the RNG in this is very sort of early 2000s-esque RNG, where it's basically just one big string of numbers. You take RNG number 1, put it into the RNG machine, it spits out number 2, and that's what gets used for whatever RNG calculations are being done on that frame. That number then goes back in to be the seed for the next RNG value on the next frame, which basically means the RNG numbers are just a big string of values of RNG increments, and if you reset it to 0, you always get the same string, which is great if you can set it to 0, which thankfully we can. So there are actually 2 RNG numbers, the general RNG, which controls things like enemy targeting and like random particle effects that happen in the world and the way NPCs move around, that sort of stuff, and also what encounters you get and encounter rates. By doing a soft reset, by pressing AB start select, that sets to 0, leaving the battle random number, which is the other random number, which controls enemy actions, what they decide to use. Soft resetting leaves the BRN untouched. By doing a hard reset, you set both to 0. And so when we set them to 0, you basically gain control. I can just do very specific inputs, very specific actions in battle to always have control of the RNG until I get to a zone where the GRN will increment every frame, at which point basically you have to do a reset when you leave there in order to make it work.
Yeah, certain effects in the game, animations, basically force that counter to go up every single frame, which then makes it extremely difficult.
Yep. Thankfully, there's not too many of them that get in our way. The big one is the Tomb Dragon fight. Actually has GRN for the entire cutscene before the fight. You can't actually RNG manipulate the final boss of the game, which is interesting. That was a fun routing challenge to figure out how to kill him. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. So first bit of RNG manipulation actually happens all the way here with this last encounter that I fight on the run to the peninsula. Instead of using Fume, which is the action I've been using to kill these other guys quickly, I kill him in 2 turns. Loses a little bit of time now, but I'm going to get 2 attacks first for my next 2 encounters. So one thing that's controlled by the BRN are pre-battle actions, of which there are 2. A Caught by Surprise is when you get caught by surprise by a random encounter. It shows up, it gets a free action against you, and there's nothing you can do to defend against it, prepare for it. Can be really bad if you get it. You know, if I were to get caught by surprise in Mars Lighthouse, the final dungeon, I would get instantly party wiped, and there would basically be nothing I could do about it. So really bad. We want to avoid them. The other one is an attacks first, which is basically the same, but I get to go first. I get the attack. I can use it to get a free action against enemies, and crucially, I can run away for free. No flee calculation, because flee rate is calculated as basically it's a calculation based on your average party level versus the enemy's party level, average party level. There will be pretty much for the entire run, after about the first half an hour, my flee chance will be negative. Like, I have a negative chance to flee. You get a flat plus 20% every time you fail to get away, so eventually you can make it positive. But yeah, my flee rate will basically be negative. So having attacks first means I can get away from things that are going to kill me. And because I can control the BRN, I can effectively manipulate attacks firsts in places where I need them, which is very useful.
That cutscene was the trigger for the actual final fight in the first game.
Yes.
Like, they light the lighthouse and the final fight kicks off.
Yeah.
So now they're fighting for dear life.
This cutscene is the post-credits cutscene for the first game.
Yes.
So we're now past where the first game is almost.
Yay.
Uncharted territory. Story being, they lit Venus Lighthouse, released Earth alchemy into the world, and there was a big earthquake, and this peninsula is now just kind of floating through the ocean, which, sure. I mean,
that's how land masses work, right?
I mean, Wayard is a big flat Earth with gigantic waterfalls on all sides. I think a floating landmass is the more believable part of this.
Yeah, let's not get the semantics about this kind of stuff.
All right, we're going to gain control again very soon. Yeah, rock credits. We're going to get control back very soon, don't worry.
These 2 individuals, so the one on the right fell off the lighthouse when it was lit. And the one on the left jumped off the lighthouse to try and save them.
And in the process of falling, his cape changed colour.
Didn't know that.
It's true, yeah. He's got his green cape in Golden Sun 1, and now it's blue.
It clearly got dyed by all the sea algae or something.
Or, you know, they got to the second game and said, hey, the protagonist for this game has a cape that clashes with the background of the entire game. Maybe we should change it. Whoops. Whoops. Didn't think of that.
Don't worry about it. But you like the first game you spend chasing after Felix and crew to stop them from lighting the lighthouses. And then in 2, you take the role of Felix and you're going around lighting the lighthouses whilst Isaac chases you.
Yeah.
But
Alright, so I've got my first trick coming up. Well, it's not really a trick because it's intended mechanic. So I'm going to do something called Sanctum Warp
yes.
to skip some cutscenes. So we save. I'm going to do a soft reset. This resets to here. By holding L and start as I try and load a save, I get warped to the sanctum of the last town I went to.
It's like a safety mechanism.
Yeah, stops you getting stuck anywhere. If you end up at like 1 HP and you're going to die, you can sanctum up. Although the game never tells you about it. It was in the game manual, but whoever read those things?
Me.
And it doesn't actually skip party members. So you're supposed to get some cutscenes where all your party members join you as you try and leave the peninsula. At this point, when I talk to Echo, my first Ginny, we'll explain Ginny in a minute, they actually just get added to my party anyway, so I don't miss anything. And I'm going to say, no, we love Echo because I can skip the tutorial.
Flint's in 1, the equivalent of
And
this
3.
does not, and 3 does not let you skip it.
Would you like to explain Ginny and the class system?
Yeah, I can give it a shot. So this game's like magic system is broadly broken up into 4 elements. Fire, wind, water. These creatures called Jinn are each of them represent one of those 4 elements, and then there are several of each of the individual elements. They form like the core of this game's like class system and mechanics. The idea is that they have 3 states: set, standby, and recovery, or recovering. When they are set to a character, they give a flat stat multiplier bonus, a flat stat bonus, depending on the actual individual Jinn set to you. So some of them boost like HP, defense, some of them boost speed, so on and so forth. And then the configuration of Jinn you have set to you changes your class, and your class, the more Jinn set to you, the generally speaking, the better multiplier to your stats that you get from your stat class. There's a whole aspect to the fact of characters have, like, each individual character has their own element, and so you can do things like you can align elements, or you can do opposite elements, or you can do like dual element, tri-element. It's a whole complex system, and it works beautifully. And then in addition to that, in combat, you can choose to use one of the Jinn, and each Jinn has its own unique thing. Generally, a lot of them are just do damage, but some of them are like increase your defense, or stop an enemy from having a turn, stuff like that. Doing so puts them on standby, so you lose the class-changing modifier and the stat boosting effect. But you can then spend a large number of these standby Jinn to do a really powerful attack called a summon, and it's like they get ridiculous, and they usually how you do a lot of damage really fast.
Yeah,
so
they're level independent damage that scales based on enemy HP.
Yeah, so you could like you could do what people call a summon rush, where you deliberately go into the fight with all of your Jinn set to standby, and then just rush summons, and then hope that the enemy doesn't rip you apart, because when you have the Jinn set to standby or recovery, you're really weak. Like, the game expects you to have some Jinn set to you to have your stats at a non-silly state.
Alright, so what I just did there is probably the most powerful glitch we have access to in this game, which is called the retreat glitch. There's a synergy, a move called retreat, which when you set it to a hotkey, it basically acts like an escape rope in Pokemon, where it warps you to the start of the dungeon. But when you put it on a hotkey and use it from the hotkey, the game is like, you don't have enough PP to use retreat. But before it does that, it sets basically the lookup table as though it worked. So you can do wrong warps like this, where I go into retreat mode, fall down there, and warp to the end of the dungeon. It basically makes the game think you're in the first room of the dungeon, even though you're not. And so when you go through, say, you know, door number 5 in a room, instead of going through door number 5 in room 3, the game thinks you're going through door number 5 in room 1 and takes you to wherever that door would take you. Which sounds like, okay, sure, you can do some silly things and get to sort of accessible places from the first room, but there's a lot of like dev doors that are still in the game that you can just like walk through and end up in weird places, including out of bounds. And out of bounds is great in this game because in order to save memory space, a lot of excess data just kind of overlaps with map data in deep out of bounds areas. So there's doors, there's all kinds of stuff hanging out of bounds. So we like getting out of bounds wherever we can because that makes things fast. Good explanation of the class system, by the way. Shame it's not that useful for this run because we just cheat our way through. We don't have to take fight. What is taking a fight?
But yeah, like, so what most people would do in their casual playthrough is just keep all the Jin aligned with the element, because you get one character for each element type. Shock. So you keep all the Earth or Venus Jin on Isaac, who's the Earth / Venus user, and then he gets all like the Venus aligned stats, so he becomes really tanky because he's got huge HP and huge defense, but then he becomes quite slow, stuff like that. But then you can switch it up, and yeah, it's a very cool system. And there are overlaps of, so in 2 you can get a lot of Jin, like a lot more Jin than you do in 1, but 1 still has the class systems that you can only find in 2 if you do some silly stuff to end up with more Jin than you should on a 1 character in 1.
So we're through the RNG part of the run. We're now doing manipulation stuff, which is fun. So I can call some counters if you like, to prove that I actually know exactly what's about to happen. Oh, also that rock is kind of a suggestion. So now I use like synergy in weird places because it gives RNG or GRN advances to put me into good places for good encounter rates and good encounters. My next encounter is going to be a rat soldier. He's going to appear now. I'm going to flee fail and he's going to run away. I love that encounter. It's like, you don't get away. He's also speedrunning. He just wants to run away too. So you have to be very careful about exactly what you do. So I want to pull Mint out of this chest. The Mint animation ticks the GRN. So I just hold B to get a very consistent clear of the text box in order to get consistent RNG. I almost forgot to do the retreat glitch. That would have been bad. So that's silly retreat glitch stuff. That door does not exist in the retreat map, and so instead of the game crashing, it just spits you out at a safe point right near Madra, which is where I wanted to go anyway, so very, very useful. We're now going to take our first Jin fight, which is Iron, sorry, I forget how to kill him. Like that. Thank God for notes. The downside about RNG manipulation is a single misinput at any point kills the route. So that's bad. You have to go back to your last hard reset point. Attack cancels. So those attack cancels every time, or defend cancels as I do them, every time you defend, it increments the GRN by exactly 1. So I can do that to manipulate a good encounter rate post-battle. So now I have a good encounter rate that'll get me all the way back into Dakin Plateau, which is the dungeon we just retreat glitched out of. It'll get me all the way back there with a single encounter, but it will come in from the back, which is faster than doing it all the way from the front.
Yeah, the safety spawn location in 1 can, I believe it can soft lock you, because it can put you, if you do it at a specific point in the story, you can end up stuck.
Yes.
Where you're behind, like, basically the game like expects you to do something.
It spits you out near Vale.
But then you can't get across the bridge. So you have to like, and you can't, because the boat's already left without you, I think was...
Oh, yeah, you can't get across. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so if you set across this, there's a lake,
you can't get back to Tolby.
Yeah. There's basically a very narrow window where if you do that and end up in that spot, you are stuck. And then you have to do more glitches to get back.
You can get back to Tolby, you just have to know how to do silly poison strats. Yeah. You can skip the Kraken, but yeah.
But who wants to skip the Kraken?
Who wants to skip Kraken? The old run killer that he is. Alright, we're going to do some menuing now. Use the Mint on Sheba, very important. important mint gives me a little bit of gives Shiva a little bit of extra agility, which allows her to outspeed a boss fight that we have coming up. One of the few boss fights we actually have in this category.
Yeah, it's a permanent stat boosting item.
Now we're going to fight Jin. So you have to fight some Jin. This is our first Mars Jin. This is Cannon. He's going to be the only Mars Jin we collect the entire run. Oh, how do I kill Cannon?
You could say that he's Cannon.
Attack, great attack. So this fight, I'm going to end this fight on an attacks first, which is good and bad. It's good because, you know, we like attacks firsts. It's bad because I have a cutscene through a town coming up that I have to do a reset through, but because I have an attacks first at an advanced BRM that I need, I can only do a soft reset, which means there's no backup if I get the next manipulation wrong, which is bad. Thankfully, I'm playing this on the Wii U, which allows save states. So we're going to make heavy use of save states in parts of the run where I could kill the run in an unrecoverable way and just have to sit here twiddling our thumbs for the next 3 hours. It also requires very specific stuff in the menu. So what I'm doing in the menu, the title screen actually increments the GRN every single frame because Camelot, the developers, realized in the first game that you could do this. You could save and quit and do RNG manipulation. But they realized it after Golden Sun had come out. So they added basically a frame counter to the start or to the title screen that just increments your GRN so you lose GRN control. Unfortunately for them, they made a little mistake that we only realized like a year and a half ago. If you do that name clear sequence on a new game, after you've gotten through the title screen, if you get through the title screen within the first 12 frames by just mashing, when you clear Isaac's name, it sets it to a known GRN. So now we just have GRN control. So what we used to have to do in RNG manipulation categories in this game is you would just mash through the intro sequence, or you'd go on a very specific note where you could try and get as consistent as you can, and then you would just route every possible encounter you can get within a few frames of that frame getting through the intro sequence to figure out what GRN you were on, and then just attack cancel to normalize it. We don't have to do any of that anymore.
I was wondering that.
Yeah.
I was like...
Yeah, we don't have to do any of that anymore. We can just do this Isaac name clear and you end up on a known GRN, which is really, really nice. It makes everything so much easier. And it allows strats like this where I'm carrying BRN through a town where I would normally lose GRN control. I can just continue going. It's really nice. I'm going to do that extensively going into Kabomb. I basically carry BRN all the way from the end of the reset after the next boss fight for like the next 20 minutes all the way through to the end of... until I get back to Madra, really. And you can do that just because of the way you can control GRN through cutscenes. Through intros now, which is awesome. Alright, we're going to go now into Yampi Desert, and we're going to fight a boss. And it's going to be our last boss fight for a long time. Like, a long time. Like, until the end of the game, a long time. We only have, like, 3 boss fights in this category.
Do you think Camelot figured out about the RNG manipulation stuff because of the, like, oh, here's how you get the wind blade?
Almost certainly, yeah.
So, people who played this game in the first game casually probably remember there was, like, a thing that you could do, like, a series of actions you could do in Venus Lighthouse, the last dungeon of the first game, to make an enemy drop a weapon that was really powerful for one of your characters. It was like an ultra rare drop, but it could guarantee it. That was RNG manipulation. That was doing your manipulations for it. So it's likely that Camelot saw that because it was quite a popular thing to do and was like, probably don't want that.
Yeah, and that got figured out super quickly as well.
Yeah.
Like, people figured out how to do that like straight away. There's like 20-year-old guides on how to do RNG manipulate. They didn't really understand how the RNG worked, but they understood it enough to be able to manipulate it in these sorts of ways. Now we can do that very easily in this game as well, which is nice. Alright, menus. We love menus. Heal everyone, use pound. Make sure that I did that right because I forgot to scroll my notes. I did, yes!
Yeah, you usually want Felix to have low synergy points, because then that way you can access the retreat glitch easily, because it costs 6 points to cast. The shortcuts are mostly so you can do these like overworld puzzles like this, with less finagling, because sometimes you have to cast like move 16 times in a row or something like that. So the fact that Felix can cast, heal, or cure is very good, because then that means if your characters get hurt, you can be like, I can spend a whole bunch of his synergy points curing everyone.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the things I'm doing in the background is PP control in this game on Felix, on this category, is super important because normally if you're like, oh, I have to do a retreat glitch and a no save and quit, you just stand there and spam Psynergy until you have low enough PP to do it. You can't do that in RNG manipulation because it kills the manipulation. So I have very, very tight control. Basically, his PP is, I know exactly what it's going to be at any point down to the PP because it's just routed that way.
Because you recover it by walking.
Because you recover it by walking, yeah. So it's just routed in a way that I always know. So I get to these points and say, okay, I need 2 PP before I do this retreat glitch. Here's how I get there. And so it's PP control for quite a lot of the run. All right, boss fight. How do we do this boss? I'm forgetting how we do things. Sleep and whoop. Double input, that's fun. So he's going to fall asleep. How lucky was that?
Wow, crazy.
Almost as though I knew it was going to happen.
This game's menuing is extremely responsive. So if you memorize the exact inputs to do like a whole bunch of menu stuff, and a lot of the runs have that, you just fly through it at an extraordinary rate.
Yeah, it's like the best bit about this game is how snappy the menus are.
We are dramatically under-leveled for this fight. So
yes.
He will kill us if we stuff this up.
You can actually get quite a way through the fight before he does, but yes, he will kill us if we stuff this up. So this is me using Jin, by the way. Echo Jin use. What am I? Ramses, Ray, Mars, yeah.
And then DG.
So a little bit of damage from Sheba. He's going to do some fun stuff. Desert Gasp. I know Sheba's looking sad. Don't worry, she'll be fine. Would really be nice if he had a turn where he just defended and didn't do much.
Yeah, but he won't do that.
No, he's not going to. Oh, how lucky. Was that? Oh, nailed it. Jeez, we're getting so lucky. So those animations that happen between turns, those are Jin recovering. Every turn, each character will recover 1 Jin, or 1 Jinny, I guess. That's the singular. Which is how I can just cycle Jin use and summons so much. I should just know this fight, right? It's basically the same cycle.
Yeah, so the summon mechanics are, at the base level, is you can use up to 4 of one element to do a elemental attack of that type, and obviously the more that you expend in one hit, the stronger the attack is. But if you have 2 characters that...
Sorry to interrupt, but shout-outs to Jenna.
Whoa.
the 1 HP strats.
If you have 2 characters, each with a Venus Jin, that have used it, and then you summon a level 2 Venus summon, like Ramses, they will both then have 1 Venus Jin on standby, on recovery, and they will recover at the same time. So you can technically rush things by carefully balancing out your Jin. It comes at the cost of class tomfoolery, because some classes are just not good.
Alright, we're going to see some fun out-of-bounds stuff. So, we are not supposed to be able to get through here until we go do a whole bunch of, like, Drama Llama stuff. We got to go to Al-Hafra, fight some dudes, it's like a whole thing. But that is slow, and we don't want to do that. So instead, we're going to do some out-of-bounds retreaty glitch stuff. I'm going to scroll my notes as well. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to stand in this corner, go into retreat mode, save into that slot for this one, because that Dakin Plateau save is quite useful. So, like I said, map data and other various bits and pieces kind of get stored out of bounds in ways that are very useful. And in this particular instance, this Dakin Plateau save will load data out of bounds in a way that I can use to my advantage. So now I'm going to do a soft reset, which preserves the data. I did it. Well, that might not work. That was bad mashing. We'll try that again. There we go. That was better. We're going to do our RNG manipulation setups. And now, because I went into retreat glitch mode and then saved, the game thinks I'm out of bounds, which is fun. And it's a move. Yeah. So I can run all the way up, out of bounds. I'm going to see a little proc. Or not. That failed because why now?
Reasons.
That failed because reasons, apparently. Why did that not work? That's right, we can try that again.
Yeah, we had the hard reset just before.
Yeah, this is one of my return points where I can just hard reset and be fine. Dakin data. Unless my mashing was bad, but didn't think so.
It looked fine to me.
Looked fine to me too. Oh, hello. You need to be scoop. Thank you. Move. Scoop. Run. Little tick to the left. Running, 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 running. Why is this not working? Why is this not working?
For one spike.
That's... Oh, I know what. I'm silly. No, it's not game being silly. I did the bad. I did the bad. Just the standard RNG setup. This is the only one in the game where this doesn't actually work as it does everywhere else. I'll show you what I mean. This is my bad. If there are any other RNG manipulation runners watching, they're probably screaming at their screen right now. Particularly Flexer and Regnatrace, because they know this route. Well, bits of this route. I have to do that. Go into the password, get a slightly different RNG advance. That's what I was doing wrong. And now this will work.
No, I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, so going into the... So instead of just backing out of Isaac's name by actually saying, yes, I would like to put in a password, you get a slightly different advance. Now I can scoop. And there we go, and there's my out-of-bounds door. So that gets me through Gondomon Cliffs without doing any of the Briggs and Alhafra stuff. Which is fun.
Plexa is screaming, apparently.
Yep. So this movement is very specific. This movement to Kabombo Mountains needs to be done within 6 frames of perfect. Otherwise, you take an encounter. You only barely get here. Hey, look at that, I did it.
Yeah, the shadow of the character on the overworld, if it disappears, that means you've stepped in forest, and that doubles the encounter rate gain.
So now we get to talk about how move is actually really annoying. So move is a great synergy when you use it in the air because it gives a very consistent GR in advance. When you use it on an object, you run into inconsistency. It's depending on like sub-pixels where you're standing, you'll get slightly different advances. Thankfully, they're not that different that you can't kind of route around it. But really, we use as few uses of move as possible, and we have little setup to try and get in the right position. So right now, I don't actually know what my GRN is. It's going to be one of technically 3 values, but one of them is like a 1 in 1,000 chance to happen, so fingers crossed we don't get it. But I just have routed in the 2 different encounters that I can get here and how to then normalize the GRN afterwards by doing attack cancels. This is why hard resets are nice. What are we getting? Pixie, 5? Yeah. 3, 4, 5. Pixie's the slow one, but only because the other one is 2 attack cancels. And now I have RNG control again, which is nice. Again, this is an area of the game that would absolutely destroy me. I have a negative chance to flee in this area now. So unless I have an attacks first, I cannot get away from enemies on the first turn, which means I have to also now route in being able to survive things that they do to me. So there are a very strict set of requirements for getting through here. Like, you can get through here, but doing it quickly is actually quite difficult, especially with GRN weirdness that happens. So now we're gonna... So here's another use of move. So I did a little setup to get there. I'm gonna try and let's do some quick strats. Did I do it? Yeah, we made it. Free heals because we have to wait for the dog anyway. It is possible to crush the dog. He just pops out the other side.
Yeah, it's fine.
Poor little guy. Yeah, poor little guy. No animals were harmed in the making of this game. So move, I'm going to take a step, and I'm going to actually save. Saving increments GRN by 1, but it does it very slowly, so I try not to do it wherever possible. And now we're going to hope I get pixies, because it's fast. Yay, we got pixies! So can't get away first time, can't get away second time, third time, all good. Alright, should be okay now. I have, again, control of what's happening. We're going to take one more encounter. It will be a pixie. Which we like pixies in RNG Manip because you don't have that negative a chance to flee. It's actually not too bad. In No Save and Quit, pixies are awful because they can put you to sleep. We don't like sleep. Move, yeah. Alright, now as long as these stairs... Stairs are a bit funny in this game because you can either go down them quickly or slowly. So that's fast and that's slow. Slow. If I get too many fast, if you get too many slow stairs, I can actually not make it out of here because you take more encounter steps on slow stairs than you do on fast stairs, which is silly. But we did it. We made it through Kabombo Mountains into Kabombo to apparently help Piers, or find Piers. And we get here, there's a whole bunch of running around you're supposed to do. It's faster just to Sanctum Warp, because the Sanctum is halfway to where we're going anyway. So a quick little Sanctum Warp, this saves like 2 seconds. But hey, 2 seconds is 2 seconds.
And 3.5 hours, 2 seconds is good.
2 seconds is exactly right. So what's going on here is Piers was the dude that we saw in jail earlier. He is a Mercury Adept. And we're like, ooh, that's useful. We like him. Let's follow him. Because Adepts are quite rare. And non-Adepts, a.k.a. normies, can't see Synergy.
Commoners.
So it's so they kind of just randomly came across this Mercury Adept. And we're like, what's going on with this dude? And so we're kind of stalking him a little bit. So now he is trying to get home to Lemuria, the ancient and hidden city of Lemuria. And in order to do that, he needs his black orb, which he can plug into his boat to make it work. These guys are kind of like tribal dudes who stole it and are using it for a weird ritual. So we're going to help him get it back. Because by helping him get it back, he's going to join our party. And he comes at level 18, which is really helpful because I'm like level 3.
It's a substantial boost to our party average.
Yes. I should scroll my notes. The downside, or I think it's an upside, is that we have to get through Kabomba statue, which is that statue thing. It's a dungeon. I RNG manipulate the whole thing. It's quite cool. I'm going to take a save state because I do it off a soft reset and carry the BRM because I currently am on an attacks first. And hard resets, the reason we want to do it is because hard resets are slower than soft resets. I needed to drain way more PP than that. That was silly. I need to go to 5 or 6, so I'll just have to do some moves in the air. Yeah, so hard resets are slow because you get the splash screen. You have to go through the menus. It's awful. It's like 6 seconds slower than a soft reset, something like that. So we try and do soft resets wherever possible for speed, including here. This one's the dodgy one. In any percent, this is the one where it's like, please work, because there is a point. One of the encounters here is not consistent. For whatever reason, there's a use of Lash that is, for reasons we don't fully understand, inconsistent. And if it doesn't work in like a regular run where you're not using save states, the run dies and you just reset. But
I'm just learning that this dungeon as a whole is inconsistent for reasons not known.
Yeah, it's a bit funny, this dungeon. There's some silly stuff you can do. Which we're going to do some silly stuff.
We love silly stuff.
Oh, we love, like, this is like really silly stuff. We're going to break the game a little bit by the end of this dungeon.
Plexo claims it's to do with the length of the rope.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but then doing it on I've done it on bits and pieces on the same frame and I still get inconsistencies with it. It's weird. All right, let's just drain some PP because I forgot to do that. So now I should have 5. Yep, perfect. It's not going to work from there. We'll try. I have 1 in the bank. Is this going to work? Did I miss? Did I miss? Oh, it doesn't work. If there's a weird spot you can stand here and make Scoop look like it missed but still actually reveal the thing, I missed it because I'm bad at the game. All right, here we go. Shoutouts to Regnatrace for coming up with this route through Kabomba Statue. It's amazing and just crazy fast. And we're going to take a nice little save state here. I'm not going to load a restore point. That would be bad. But beautiful. All right. So everything through here is specific. The movement is not as specific in this category as it is in any percent because there's a Djinn in here that we're going to collect. But in any percent, you get to the end of this with like 2 steps to spare. After the whole dungeon, it's very, very tight timing. It's not as bad here, which is good. So I can be a little bit crap and still be fine. As long as I don't misinput anything. Alright. Like that. Go completely the wrong way. Silly.
It's fine.
That's alright. Maybe. That'll be fine. Where do I take this encounter? Ah, yeah, we're fine. So this coming up is the Lash that is a bit silly. Hopefully we see the right encounter on the next one. We're looking for a Doomsayer and a Skeleton. If it's a red demon and a Doomsayer, I'm going to be sad. Please be the right encounter. It was neither. Alright, that's interesting.
Panic.
Panic. That's all right. This is what restore points are for. Yay, invalid runs. We love invalid runs.
Meh.
It's all right. We'll do it again. Thankfully, the inconsistent encounter is very early in the dungeon, so it's not that bad to go back and just try again. It's probably because I got the movement wrong. Ah, excuse me.
You're excused.
Let's try this again. I'll go the right way this time. Scoop. Nice GR in advance. That's more better taking that encounter where I took it there. That should put me in the right spot to do this lash in a good spot. And we hope we get it this time. Please be the right encounter this time. Yay, we did it. All right, we're good. Now we can just, like, do the rest. How good is this track, by the way? How good is the soundtrack in this game, just in general?
They made the GBA's sound chips sing.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, shout-outs to basically everyone who had to do any work on this soundtrack, because it's amazing.
Oh, it's a rat.
There is a weird glitch where that rat does silly things, but we don't really know how to replicate it. It's only been seen very few times.
Like it doesn't line up correctly.
Yeah, it's to do with Piers being out of position for some reason outside, and then for whatever reason that rat gets a bit silly. I've never seen it. Plexa swears it's a thing. I've never actually seen it.
That sounds familiar to...
Yeah.
There's a very, very, very rare chance that one of the cutscene, like one of the automated cutscenes in Banjo-Kazooie goes wrong, because Banjo will miss a character that he's meant to attack in an automated cutscene. And I think it's like, basically if the creature does an exactly precise set of movements, then it will be out of position and...
Oh, I forgot to scroll my notes. I want to make sure I don't do Silly 8's move first. Yep. Right, so here's where PP control comes in. I have perfectly 0 PP now to do that lash and then retreat glitch, because retreat glitch doesn't just take you to funny places, it turns off some loading zones, so I can just climb up this ladder and now I'm out of bounds. So instead of going and solving all the puzzles to get to the other side of this weird flashing gear, I can just like get out of bounds and run there myself by running all the way around the walls to the other side of the room.
Very convenient.
Very convenient, yeah. Very, very useful. The next one is a 1AC. I also now have a double attacks first, so I can just run away from stuff. Attacks first are also great because you can set up, you can just attack cancel until you get good encounter rates. Attacks first are just good.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit behind on my steps, but that's should be fine. Demon. We are almost to our next fight, which is fun. We like fighting things. We're going to collect a Jin that is normally awful because he can run away and cost you lots of time, but he's not going to run away.
Yeah, so any Jin you encounter in an area where you can take combat, you fight. Whereas if you were to encounter a Jin in, say, a town, you just get it. It just, like, joins willingly.
Yeah. But Jin in the wild we have to beat into submission.
And they like to run.
So I force this encounter and defend, attack. This is a setup to get me onto an attacks first for the Jin, otherwise, again, he would probably destroy me pretty quickly.
Yeah, Jin are also quite...
They are strong, a little bit stronger than all of the random encounters in an area. Ramsey's Ray, Fume, Diamond Dust. So now I get him on and attacks first. Ramsey's Ray, Fume, Diamond Dust. And we just pummel him with some damage. Yes, wow.
You can see just how strong Piers is comparatively by looking at his HP.
Yeah,
Compared to the rest.
Sheba, 56, Piers, 162 after taking damage. So he, like I said, he's level 18. He's the reason I can actually get away from some stuff first try, because he brings my party level high enough that I don't have a negative chance to flee some things. And as I'm going to manipulate reasonably soon, the average party level calculation is actually average party level of characters that are not dead. So very soon we're going to manipulate that by bringing our average party level up a little bit. But first we have to get to the end of this dungeon.
Math.
Yeah, maths. So now we have Steel. He's great. He's not actually that useful as a Djinn on his own, but he is numbers. He's basically what we use him for. We need a certain number of Djinn to do the final boss in order to do Djinn cycling struts, so I'm basically just going to collect Djinn that are very fast to collect. And also get the right number of Djinn for some summons that we'll need to do. Alright, so we're at the end of the first part, and this room is really, really silly. For reasons, again, reasons that we don't fully understand, is this room acts kind of like soft reset. It sets your GRN to it sets the GRN to a fixed value every time you enter it. Only room in the game that does it. It's weird. At this point when you enter it, it also does some weird things with retreat maps. So the game is set up where now if I were to leave and use retreat, it'll bring me back to this room and give me a cutscene of Akafubu's little ceremony not working. Effectively what that means is it has set my retreat map to not be, or to be somewhere different. So retreat glitch pointers point somewhere different. And in particular, there are some chests. You can use retreat glitch to open chest and access items from different areas. And if that area doesn't contain a chest that you're trying to open, you can basically pull junk data out of the chest. And I'm going to exploit that to break the game. Like, if Camelot knew that this was a thing, they would have not released. They probably would have delayed release of the game, because this is very broken things I'm about to do. I'm also going to take a save state because you can't just come back here. I also have to hold B through this last bit because you get GRN increments here that don't reset when the screen comes back. I'm going to take another save state here so that I don't mess this up.
There's a particularly
excuse me?
fun use of the retreat glitch on a chest that gets you a very nice thing that's not in this run.
Yes. But
we'll save the surprise.
It's coming very soon. So we're basically backtracking all the way back to the start of the dungeon. Like literally the start of the dungeon.
It's worth it.
Now, what encounter do we get? We get the Salamander. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move. Step flash. Beautiful. And now I get all the way to the end without another encounter, because yay for manipulating good encounter rates. So this is the room where we just fought Steel. He used to be sitting over there on the left.
Now he's in your pocket.
Now he's in me pocket. Frost. So I also want to take an encounter in a very specific point here, so that I can get back. So if I were to retreat back into the head, it takes me to wherever I took the last encounter, the XY, wherever I took the last encounter. Oh no, everyone died! What am I going to do? That's fine. We got away. So now everyone's dead. So now my flee rates are really good. Because now my average party level is 18, because all the level 3 guys are gone. So here's the chest. That's the most powerful weapon in the game. Also, Isaac comes out of the chest as well, because why not? Just randomly pull Isaac out of a chest, and we're going to give him the Soul Blade because he gets Soul Blades. Yeah, I did pound. So that is weird. We knew about the Soul Blade. The story of how we found that is quite funny. We knew about the Soul Blade for a long time, because when we realized that you can just pull items out of chests, we just go through the entire game and figure out what items come out of what chest, and it's quite easy to do that without actually testing all of the chests. So we knew... Oh, really? Have I... Oh, I haven't done PP very well. So we knew about the Soul Blade, but no one actually tested it, because getting to here and then backtracking all the way back to the start is really slow. Like, it took me a couple of minutes to get there, right? So everyone's like, it's too far. There's another Soul Blade that we can get in Ayers Rock that's way fast. You basically run straight past it. It takes like 20 seconds to get it. So it's like, we'll just get that one. Why would we ever get the Gabomba one? So no one ever bothered to test it. Until one day Plexa was doing an any% run that just happened to die here because the manip went bad. And someone in his chat said, hey, can you like show me how to do this? Because it's quite silly. And so he went and did it, got the soul blade. It was like the first time anyone had ever actually gotten that soul blade. He took a battle and was like, why can I swap party members? Oh, speaking of which, I forgot to swap party members. Oh yeah, I can have 2 Isaacs as well because party member shenanigans. So yeah, he's like, why do I have 2 party members? And he just swapped and Isaac was out. Why do I have Isaac all of a sudden? Turns out you just pull Isaac out of the chest. It's to do with it's the reason it works. It took us a while to figure out why it works, but the reason it works is because there's like 4 bytes of data that chests store, which are various properties of the chest that don't get overwritten when you change location. So there's a lucky pepper in a chest in Kabombo that just stays stored in that location, and it happens to write just the right data that it's attempting. I think it's attempting to update a status on one character, but because you don't have that character, it gives you a character to like try and update, and the character to give you a set to character 0, which is Isaac. So you just pull Isaac out of the chest. It's the only chest that we know of that does this, and they have been checked, so I think we would have found another one if it did it. But yeah, so now we have Isaac. He is an actual Isaac. He's level 28. He is as you would get him basically 3/4 of the way through the game when his party joins you for the end of the game. He comes with all of the Jin that I manipulated off-screen because it takes a long time, but I do an RNG manipulation before the start of the run in order to manipulate the exact right Jin to be able to beat the game very quickly, or to be able to beat the final boss. And yeah, I can duplicate him because the game never expects you to have only 5 party members, and so by shuffling them around, weird things happen. So I have 2 Isaacs that are treated independently. So instead of having 1 level 28 character, I actually have 2. So fleeing is now really easy. I can just run away from stuff, and it's great.
And then there's also other stuff, for example, like, because they're individual, they get 2 turns, they get attacked twice by any AoE that hits all of them, they gain experience twice. Like, yep. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's very silly. So I went back into the head there to gain RNG control. This next part is one of the run killer moments of this run. Excuse me. Yeah. So I want to carry this GRN all the way through to basically the next run back to Madra. To do that, I have to get out of Kabombo. There is a cutscene that I'm going to watch in Kabombo where GRN actually increments during the cutscene in ways that are very difficult to control. So I'm going to take save state because I have a method to do it. You need near frame perfect movement to leave the room. It's not hard, but getting it wrong kills the run. Because I don't have a reset point I can go back to now. So
No Man's Land.
I'm going to take a save state. Because yay for save states. Yeah, you end up in No Man's Land instead. I could then just like force my way through and rely on RNG to do what I need it to do, but that's not fun. No one wants to deal with that.
Black Christian.
Yeah, Kraden's the old dude. He likes to talk a lot, unfortunately. Alright, we're going to take a
sips deep from the Yappuccino.
Yes, he does. It's well known that in Golden Sun, the number of text boxes you have is proportional to your age.
He likes
Which we're going to see. We're going to meet some really old people soon, and they do not ever shut up.
He likes to wax lyrical.
Yeah. So this is the room, by the way. I'm taking GRN increments. It's not quite every frame. They happen in pulses. But by just holding B, I get very consistent text box clears, and I did it. And all I have to do is get to that ladder, and then we're fine. And the rest of the movement is easy, but it makes me nervous. So it's not hard movement, but I get scared by it. Now we're going to do a move. And now we're running all the way back. We're going to collect the Jin on the way back, and we're going to also get Piers poisoned. Poison is the other game-breaking thing, which I hope you like hearing poison procs, because we're going to see him for not that long, but a little bit. All right, we got encounters to do first. Oh, I did scroll my notes.
Are you going to be sitting in the corner of the room taking poison damage?
Yeah. A little bit, yeah. Frost. So I'm going to go fight a Jin. We're going to see just how powerful Isaac is by fighting a Jin that is actually quite difficult in no save and quit speedruns. He can actually be quite punchy. you can get to him. Oh no, maybe you can't get to him early because you need Frost. This is Waft. He's going to die very quickly. You defend. Do that, and he's dead.
You are also the opposing element, so you hit like a freight train on him.
Yeah. That's one thing the game doesn't really tell you about is opposing elements, but Jupiter and Venus are opposed. So Jupiter element attacks do lots of damage to Venus adepts, and Venus adept attacks do lots of damage to Jupiter adepts or Jupiter-aligned things. So by hitting him with a flint, which is damage based on attack, Isaac's attack is really good because he has the most powerful weapon in the game attached to him, which I'm not supposed to get until like 20 minutes before the end of the game. So his attack is really good. So he hits like a truck, particularly against Jupiter Jin.
You can tell if your attack has hit, like, quote, super effectively by looking at the punctuation at the end of the damage sentence. If it's a full stop, you've done the same damage element that they are, so the lowest possible type. If it's one exclamation mark, you've done one of the two, like, interacting elements, so standard damage, and if it's 3 exclamation marks, you've done the opposite element damage to it, which is like super effective damage.
So now we're going to take a little bit of damage on Isaac, which is sad, and Piers is poisoned.
No.
Oh no. Why did we do that for? We will see why we did that in a little bit, not just yet. We'll get there. What's that? Was he at 5? That'll do. Oh, I still have Pound there. Why do I still have Pound on R? Everyone knows retreat goes on R, Plexer. We found out recently Plexer sometimes puts retreat on L. It's disappointing.
It's R for retreat.
It's R for retreat, exactly. It's not L treat. It's R treat. Alright, now we're back in Madra. Yay, we got through the scary long manipulations through Kabombo. I can breathe a little bit easy now because we have a hard reset coming up soon, thank God. It's been a while since we've done one. So I have failable things. So now we've helped Piers. He's happy. He's like, yay, you guys helped us. You helped me get the Black Orb. Despite the fact that because we skipped a whole bunch of stuff, the Black Orb is still sitting above the fire.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, we skipped all the stuff where it actually gets stolen because that's slow. Now he's going to join us because we used Move and he saw it, and Mercury adepts in every Golden Sun game are like blown away by Move. You use and they're like, what was that? That's insane. Let me come with you and follow you forever.
It's true.
It's true. Literally everyone.
Dude, that's right. They're all Osh guys hidden from the world, so they don't know that anyone else can do adept powers.
So at the end of this cutscene, we're supposed to go outside and get another very long cutscene, at the end of which we get Cyclone. But we can actually just not do that by doing a Sanctum Warp. We basically skip the trigger for the cutscene, which is just leaving the house, and we end up at the other side of the house. And there's a backup that Camelot implemented where if you have too many items where you can't hold the Cyclone chip, it gets put into this pot. And so by doing the Sanctum Warp, it's just in this pot. And so we skip the cutscene, which is awesome. Also going to use a Void, one of the few uses of a Void in this run. A Void, I'd say it acts like a Repel in Pokemon, but kind of not really. It's all or nothing. Every area in the game has just a set level. If your average party level, including dead party members sadly, is above the set level for an area, a Void suppresses all encounters. I take 0 random encounters. If your average party level is below that set level for an area, a Void does absolutely nothing. So it is all or nothing. There are very few areas in the game where I am actually sufficiently leveled for a Void to work because it takes dead party members into account. So even though my average party level is pretty good, even with the 2 Isaacs, because the 2 Isaacs are still counted separately, all of the dead party members are still like level 3, so that's not great.
Math.
Yeah, math.
We love averages.
So we're going to do a fight. We're going to kill some stuff. Ready, steady, and he's dead. Isaac is silly. He makes this game silly. He's too strong.
He's just so powerful.
He's so powerful.
He's got the Soul Blade, so...
So we can skip this entire, like, boat section. For some reason, Piers' boat is, like, infested, and even his, like, I swear I closed the door. I don't know why there's all these guys here. What's going on? But we don't have to deal with them. Whoop. Because we finally have a hard reset. Yay. Safety. We love safety. So again, I stood in a very specific point, went into retreat mode, do a reset, and when I load in, I'm going to be out of bounds, and I can do some out of bounds movement to just skip to the end of the dungeon. But I'm also being very careful to take exactly the right amount of damage. So the reason poison is useful is because of a trick called death storage. If you have a party member die from poison on the exact same frame that you hit a specific loading trigger, the game kind of freaks out and goes, I don't know what to do first, and neither of them happen, and they just kind of get stuck in limbo until something else comes along to like resolve the queue. Thankfully, these these triggers that you have to hit on the same frame as someone dies from poison are almost exclusively entrances to areas. And because an entrance to area then just doesn't happen because the game doesn't know how to doesn't figure out what to do, you end up out of bounds. And that's going to let me skip a lot, hours of the run. So what you're supposed to do once you get the boat here is you spend the next casually like 20 hours sailing around the ocean, collecting a whole bunch of stuff so that you can defeat Poseidon and enter Lemuria. We're just going to kind of enter Lemuria. We're just going to skip all of that because it's slow.
It's a bit rude to Poseidon.
I know, yeah.
He has so much of the game dedicated to just him.
He's such a good boss as well. He has an AoE attack that it hits all of your party members and has a chance to proc instant death on any of them. He's such a scuffed boss. He's like genuinely difficult.
He's sort of just like, he comes out of nowhere.
In no save and quit runs, he's the big run killer. Like Poseidon percent is a thing because sometimes Poseidon just kills you at 3.5 hours into the run. It's like, well, that's, is what it is. Guess we're dead now. I'm going to collect the gin on the way. He's a bit slow to get to, but he's quite useful. I could have done this earlier, but it is very slightly faster to do it now as opposed to doing it at the very start of the game. But like very slightly faster. 3. I just got to do a bunch of moves for GRN purposes, and now I can do a double retreat glitch through that door, retreat glitch through that, and I'm out of bounds. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And we find a door. Yay. Movement here is specific. I do not want to take a poison proc before I go through here. Yay, I did it. So you don't take encounter steps in the water, so that movement is shockingly precise to be able to take the right number of encounter steps that the manipulation to get to Lemuria works, which it didn't. That's annoying. That's an encounter that's not supposed to happen. Why did that happen? That was weird. We might still be okay. We'll see. It doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't really matter that much. There's other random stuff I can do to be fine. How do I kill this dude? Oh, it's just attack. Oh, I just hit him in the face with the soul blade because this is like the second gin you're supposed to collect.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like right at the start of the game. We've just like dropped back to...
I might take a safety save state just in case things don't work out very well. So we're going to create a restore point. I could safe this, but we're gonna YOLO it a little bit. I think I got a manip wrong somewhere. I don't know where, but I think I did something wrong somewhere. We'll see. Did I write how much PP he's supposed to have? I did! Oh my god, I'm so smart. Good job, past Conical. I wrote how much HP Piers is supposed to have if I get the right encounter. It's not the right encounter, but only doesn't have a lot of PP. This is interesting. Why is this gone silly? What did I do wrong?
I don't know.
Neither do I. That's alright, we'll just have to do slow things. Thankfully, encounter steps reset when you enter and exit an area, so I can just do this and drain his PP to where it needs to be. It's a bit slow, but it works. I don't know what I did wrong here. I'm gonna have to watch this later and figure out what silliness I did. How much damage is he taking each proc? That's 48. Ah! I hit the loading zone. losing time, yay. 36, so he's losing 12. So next one should be 24. That's a weird number to be on if he's losing 12. It's going to be exact. So I'm going to take another save state just in case. All right, here we go. Now we're going to try and get it. So the movement here, very specific because I need to leave on the exact frame that he dies. So we're going to go up, right, down, left, down, right, up, right, left, and we hold our breath and see if we make it. Yay, and now we're out of bounds. So if I open the menu, if I use any Psynergy, if I do anything, the game will process both of these actions and I'll just get booted out of the area, just to the world map, and be sad because Piers is now dead, so you can't do it again because you need poison. But if I hit this loading zone over here, it then punts me out to the end of here. It like triggers that loading zone. Don't go down because Poseidon is still there and he will destroy me. It's not actually possible to beat him because he has a barrier. And now we just skipped like 2 hours. So yay, we just come straight to Lemuria. And our prize for doing that is 15 minutes of cutscene mashing.
Yeah, the plot reason for that is you need Poseidon's trident to break his barrier so you can fight him.
He has a barrier that literally suppresses all damage. You can't damage him until you use the trident on him and remove his barrier, and then you can kill him, and even then he's still a hard fight. Also, shout outs to more Mercury adepts being like, what in the hell is this move that you just did? These guys are like, what was that? Because all Mercury adepts are blown away by move. For reasons.
Which is an oddly specific synergy that you can do.
So Lemuria is like a big exposition dump in this game. It's like they realize you've just been gallivanting around the world doing a bunch of random stuff, and then you get to Lemuria and they're like, no, here's the plot, go do the plot please. But it takes them a long time to get there because, as I said earlier, the number of text boxes you have is directly proportional to how old you are, and Lemurians basically live forever. So these guys are all like hundreds of years old, which means they just do not ever stop talking, and it just goes on and on and on, and it's, yeah. Thankfully, there's some stuff that we actually have to do while we're here, which is good, because otherwise this would be painful. It's also a fantastic time for donations if we have any. Please donate, because we have like 15 minutes of this.
Just go. Just go.
Unfortunately, we do not have any donations, but I would just like to remind everyone what we're doing here. So we are AusSpeedruns, and this year we are raising money for Game on Cancer, a charity which funds early career cancer researchers who are working across all areas of cancer research to make this the last generation to die from cancer. If you'd like to donate, you can go to donate.ausspeedruns.com. I believe if you're in the chat, you can also !donate to get that link. In addition to any donations you make, all Twitch revenue we receive throughout this event will also be given to Game on Cancer, which includes bits and subscriptions to AusSpeedruns channel as another way to support Game on Cancer. And the last thing I'll say on that, as I continue to ramble on, is you can also put your donations to specific incentives. If you would like to, just let me know in your donations what you'd like to put them towards. For example, coming up, the next incentive we have going is the Snowboard Kids character choice. You can choose which character to use for the final race, where currently in first place we have Nancy at $50, Tommy at $39.20, Linda at $10, and Jam and Slash at $0. So if you have a preference for that, you can get in on that with your donations.
People dogging my boy Jam. Of course, Linda's leading.
If you needed any more reason to donate other than raising money for cancer, my wife has given me permission to shave my head if we raise enough money by Saturday night. So please donate if you want to see me shave my bun off. I've had long hair for like 10 years.
I was going to say, I don't think
no one here will have seen me before it, so I've been given permission to shave my head. So please donate, because that'll be fun.
Which of our 5,000 caps are you on for the shaving?
Dunno, hasn't quite been decided yet.
Fair enough.
So
Well,
my wife said
just
set an unrealistic target is what she said.
okay. Well, we are
So donate lots.
Yes, please donate lots. We are currently at $23,853, so we need about 1,200 to get our next shave head.
Next shaved head.
Law stuff is happening.
So much law.
He's like, yeah, this place used to be great. Now it's kind of not because we sealed away alchemy. Whoops, how bad. Turns out when you seal away the world's sort of life force, bad things happen. You slowly decay. Shocking.
And they live forever because of the water.
Yeah, they
It's
live forever
tasty.
because of the water. Yeah.
It's super tasty water.
Yep. I did do a few things on the way here. I collected a lucky medal, and I spoke to a dude who got out of my way. So the lucky medals you use in the spring, which is what the dude was guarding, and you can get items. They're RNG-based items, exactly what you get, with the exception of the first one, which is a very powerful summon, the goat of summons, Eclipse. And all the other items, some of them, most of them are a bit like, meh. One of them, the wild coat, really good, because it gives you agility, and agility is really good in this game, because if you can outspeed stuff, you can just kill it. But it's RNG-based. If only we had a way to control the RNG to get exactly what we want out of the fountain.
If only.
If only.
It's a shame there isn't such a thing.
I
No,
know.
you
It'd make
just have
the
to
game
hope
so
you're
easy.
lucky.
It'd make the game so easy.
You just have to hope that you're lucky.
So this is where Piers finds out that while he was away, I think it's his mum died, which is
mother,
bad.
yeah.
Fun fact, I used to think these bottles of alcohol on the floor when I was younger, I thought they were like bowling pins. I'm like, why are there bowling pins in here?
Man's just working on his strike.
Exactly right. Then I'm like, oh, wait. Then I grew up and played the game again. Was like, oh, wait, no, guy's an alcoholic. This is actually really sad.
In this guy's defense, his partner passed away and his son vanished, which is something that no one has done in God. And they live for a very long time, so...
Yeah, and they just don't leave. None of them leave. He's like the first one to leave in centuries.
He left chasing after a thief?
No, he was sent out by the king because the king was like, Poseidon's back, weird stuff's happening, what's going on? Turns out the weird stuff happening was people were lighting the lighthouses and it's making the world do weird things. And so he left to figure out what's going on. And then couldn't get back because Poseidon. Which is one of the things the guards say. It's like, oh, you guys are the ones who killed Poseidon? Also, no, we didn't. He's still there. But like, you guys killed Poseidon. You're way too strong to come here. Please leave. And then we just like talk them out of change. We just convince them to change their minds. So, not great guards because they just run off.
I was thinking that they're guards sitting there, and it's like, how long have they been sitting there for? How long their stations
Guards in these games are not great. Shoutouts to the guard in Golden Sun 1 who's supposed to be guarding Soul Sanctum and catches you trying to sneak in and then immediately turns his back on you. So we go there.
We wouldn't expect...
So I'm going to do a fun little setup. Can only do this when Piers leaves your party, where you can put Isaac in slot 1 and slot 4. And that's really useful because now AoE attacks can't hit both of them at once, which is really nice. Because we have a dungeon coming up that you can't RNG manipulate. You just kind of have to YOLO your way through the dungeon. And it used to be we would hard reset crawl. So when you load a hard reset, or when you do a hard reset, because the BRN gets set to 0 BRN gives you an attacks first. The first encounter after a hard reset you can always run away from. So what we used to do is you hard reset, you take an encounter, you run away, you save, you hard reset, and you just do this the whole way through the dungeon, and that's really slow. We don't like that. Now we have Isaac, and we have 2 Isaacs, who I'm going to put in a really punchy class, separated far enough that you can just run away from everything, and it's fine. You just flee. Fleeing is faster on average. And unless I just refuse to heal and just allow him to get to, like, no health, there's not really anything they can do to me. There's no single encounter that can kill me fast enough, which is really, really nice. Although it occurs to me, my BRN is screwy. I actually usually carry BRN all the way through here into the next dungeon, but I can't do that now. But that's alright, I'll just run away from stuff. This is Lumpa. He kind of showed up here a couple of 200 years ago by accident with another dude, Babby, who's in the first game.
And never left.
Yeah, so he never left. He's just been chilling here in his library, just living forever, which is why we're having this very long cutscene where he just does not ever stop talking, because he's 200 years old, and old people talk forever. So he's like, yeah, world ending, let's go see the king. But the king is currently talking to the very conservative leader of the Senate, whose name is very imaginatively Conservato. Who's like, no, you can't do that. Must let the world die. Ah, you're crazy.
We do have a donation. If I could get in to read it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please read donations.
Yeah, we have one $20 donation from Nespion saying, not having donations to read didn't feel right, so here you go. Also, is there a person so old in this game that they started talking many years ago and they are still going now?
Yeah, you joke, but like that's actually kind of the plot of why we can't go see the king right now, because he is having a discussion with Conservato and they've been talking for ages. And you can't get in, and their conversations apparently historically go for a long time. So we are literally like wasting time until we can actually get in to see him.
That is fantastic.
When did we find out about Babby's quote fate? Is it?
In this run, never.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like
We
the
should have
story-
found out about that by now.
Yeah.
So Babby is the ruler of Tolby. He kind of stole all of their fancy live forever water and buggered off to found a kingdom. He's a terrible person. He like enslaves children to force other towns to do his bidding. He's kind of a terrible guy. But he wanted Isaac to come and get back to Lemuria to get more of the draft for him because he was going to die. We find out that he's dead. Woohoo! And the only person sad is Creighton, because he was raised from Creighton was raised from birth by Babby to be forced into being a researcher for alchemy. And for some reason, Creighton's like, yes, treat me more like a slave. I love it.
He's had his whole life for
Yeah.
it, so you know. They're still going.
Yeah, this is now the king and Conservato, who refuses to talk to us because we're outsiders, so he just kind of hangs back, which is nice because he's super old and he doesn't say anything for a while.
He sulks in the back.
This is the last cutscene in Lemuria, thank God. The really sad part about this is we actually have to do all of this because we get an item at the end of this cutscene called the Grindstone, which allows us to use the Synergy Grind. There is one use of Grind that we can't skip in the entire run. If we could skip it, we would never have to come here. Please, can we find a way? That's true for quite a lot of stuff. We're about to go and do Aqua Rock to get the Synergy Parch, which there is a single use of Parch that we can't skip, and Aqua Rock is the worst dungeon to speedrun in the game because there's just nothing interesting happening there. Cannot RNG manipulate, there's no skips, there's one retreat glitch that you can do, but it doesn't even save that much time, and in this category it doesn't save any time because I get there with too much PP. It's just awful. You just have to run through the dungeon and solve it. So please donate, because we're going there next. I don't want to have to try and make stuff up the whole way through.
Well, we do have one more donation.
Yes.
$4 donation from Dad saying, you're golden, son.
Ah, thanks, Dad.
Can't believe the world's dying. Oh no.
Oh yeah, shout-outs to the croissant cutscene that we just missed.
Not the croissant cutscene.
Yeah, the world used to look like a
looked
croissant.
like a croissant.
When
yeah.
Plexa ran this game at GDQ, he literally started eating a croissant when that happened. It was amazing.
Yeah, this is when it becomes apparent that the actions you were engaging in the first game were bad. And that you were effectively trying to stop the world from recovering.
Which this must be mind-blowing for Isaac, who's just kind of hanging out with us. Yeah?
He's also
He's like, oh my god, what did I do?
Also, there's two of him.
Yeah, also they're like, why are there two? Why have you got twins with you?
The cutscene stuff's interesting because in one there's like a point in time where you can have the fourth character join your party, but you can do a bunch of cutscenes either before or after they join. And the game accounted for this by having cutscenes where that character's model isn't on the on the screen, and some that there is. But then any other cutscene where they expect you to have it, they're there, regardless of whether or not you've got them.
I think that's true in this game as well, because you can postpone doing Ayers Rock until after you've collected peers. So I think if you talk to Maha,
I
think there's peer-specific stuff there. I could be wrong. He may just stand there and do nothing. But
I mean, yeah. But like the fact that they've had to put in variations of cutscenes based on whether or not you've done certain things in a certain order.
So we finally get to do stuff. We're going to Sanctum Warp. Woohoo! Because the Sanctum in Lemuria is the springs. So by doing this, I get to the springs faster, which, yay. And I can do it. Oh, I didn't even do the Sanctum Warp. I'm silly. I forgot to press the buttons. So by doing this, I can get there with known GRN, which means I can make the game do what I want. give me the items that I want. Ah, alright, that's better. So we come into here. What do you think I'm going to get? I really hope it's a wild coat because it buffs agility, and agility is good.
Ah, well, you just have to hope.
Oh man, that was a terrible throw. Look where it is. It's never going to give me what I want.
Man.
Oh, how lucky was that? Oh, we got a wild coat. We got a wild coat. The old way of doing this was awful. It's like actually awful. We used to have to go into the battle mode and look to see how NPCs moved to try and get an idea of what GRM we were on. It was so inconsistent, it never worked. Now we can just do that. It's way easier. Shout outs to Isaac Nameclears. And also, if you get it in the middle, the first time you get it in the middle, you get the summon Eclipse. Eclipse is amazing.
Yes.
It's a 5 Jin summon, hits like an absolute truck, and gives consistent GRN advances. It's like there is nothing bad about Eclipse.
Yeah, so in the first game, the only summons you can do were the 1 to 4 element, like mono element type ones. In 2, you can find summon tablets that are usually dual element summons, and they go beyond 4 and often come with nice damage output. Or cool features.
So Lemuria has one last gift to give us as we're leaving. It has an auto-scroller cutscene that I can't even mash through. There is nothing I can do to speed this up. We just have to sit and wait for them to leave. It's just... Lemuria wasn't painful enough.
Well, while we're doing this, I have another dono if you'd like.
Please.
We have $33.33 from Happy Camper saying good luck, or rather execution, considering the category. Gotta go to sleep soon, work tomorrow. Go shave your head, Conical. I think it'll suit you.
I get scared when I hear Happy Camper giving donations because he always tries to make me do scuffed things in marathons. The last one I did, no save and quit marathon a couple of months ago. No save and quit. Golden Sun 1 no save and quit a couple of months ago, and he said, "Do Yellow Path." I've never done Yellow Path in my life. It's like minutes slower. I'm like, sure, let's just let's play our way through Yellow Path. Why not? It's so awful. It's just
with the chest opening stuff that you can do, there's one chest you can open with a retreat glitch that gives you the strongest summon in this game, which normally you would have to fight the super boss of this game, which in order to even be able to encounter, you need to have done a transfer from the first game where you have all of the Jin, bring it to this game, collect all of the Jin in this game as well, go through this mega dungeon, fight the super boss in, and you are rewarded with
Iris.
Very, 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 very powerful summon.
Yeah. To like an idea of just how difficult this boss is, the game gives you the second most powerful summon in the game for free.
Yeah,
in order to fight the boss, because the boss can just use it whenever not whenever he wants. He's on a
he's
cycle.
He's on a cycle.
But yeah, it just gives you the second most powerful summon in the game for it. It doesn't help. Like, he's unbelievably difficult.
He's meant to be the culmination of a player's skill, because you have had to have played through both games fully in order to even fight him. So they're like, all right, strap in, because this guy's gonna kick your teeth in.
Yep.
And boy howdy does he kick your teeth in.
Does he kick your teeth in. But you don't even have to fight him to get Iris. Go see when I did no save and quit for this game. Oh, yeah, that was right. When I did no save and quit for this game at ASM a couple of years ago, my incentive was collect Iris, and I was like, yes, you're gonna fight and defeat dual hand. Nope, I just did the retreat glitch and left. All right, we get to do some menus. I've forgotten what my menu is. Yeah, no, I remember. And then we do that. And then you get that. So now Isaac is in a really punchy class. Excuse me. So he is in a mono elemental class. It is just all Venus Jin, which means he has tons of HP. He's basically unkillable. There is, in the next dungeon, which I cannot control RNG in, there is no encounter, even if I get caught by surprise, there is no encounter that can kill me before I get a guaranteed flee. So if I stay at full health, it is not possible for me to die, which is really, really nice. But it does mean we have to run all the way through the dungeon, and there's like one trick I can do. But it's fine. It's got a nice soundtrack. Casually, it's a really nice dungeon. If you're doing a Let's Play, it's one of my favorite dungeons in the game.
Aqua Rock.
Yeah, I like Aqua Rock. It's got a really nice vibe to it. Plus, you know, I like water stuff. Fun little trick we can do here. This is called grounding the... well, maybe if I don't get an encounter. Thank you. This is called grounding the boat. I can, if I do it right. Excuse me. Why are you not working?
Boat doesn't feel it.
Boat's not feeling it. There we go. You can kind of wedge the boat into the cliff and just jump off anywhere. Normally, you can only get off the boat at beaches. And there is a beach here, but you have to run all the way around, all the way through the forest, and you take 1,000,000 encounters or to get there. We can just stick the boat on the beach there. Problem is, you can't get back in the boat and like get it unstuck. So the only way to get off there is to either Sanctum Warp or die and go to a Sanctum. Well, I suppose that's still a Sanctum Warp, isn't it? Ooh,
With extra steps.
If I get lucky here and we don't take an encounter... oh, never mind. Well, so much for the one fun thing we can do. If I get all the way up these ladders without taking an encounter, there is a retreat glitch I can do that would be faster if you take a very quick encounter, but I didn't. So instead of running around and taking 1,000,000 encounter steps to get an encounter, I'm just going to solve the puzzle because it works out to be faster. But yeah, so the boat doesn't come off unless I Sanctum or die, which is why it's really useful in save and quit categories, but we don't use it in no save and quit.
So you've beached it.
Yeah, it's beached. It's not going anywhere. Oh, I got pushed off. Yay, I thought I had time. Good stuff. Now I have to climb all the way up here again.
Oh.
We are very, very close to being able, in no save and quit, to beach the boat in a certain way that we can almost get... oh, come on. That we can almost get to Loho, which would skip all of basically everything. Because you can get to the world map for Golden Sun 1 actually still exists here, and you can just run over it. And we can beach the boat in a way that we can access that world map and get to the mountain range next to Loho, which is one of the last towns in the game. No, I've got to go up here. Oops. But we can't quite get through them. We're like a couple of pixels away from being able to get through the mountain, which will allow us to skip basically all of the game once we get the boat. But we're not quite there yet. Maybe one day someone will figure out a way to get through there.
New fun stuff discovered every day.
Yeah. So now I'm just basically just solving just doing the dungeon normally. There's not really anything I can do to skip stuff here, which is a shame. And it's a two-part dungeon. There's this outside bit, and then we get to go inside as well.
Yeah, I'm partial to Ayers Rock.
Have you ever seen Save and Quit Ayers Rock?
I think so.
Ayers Rock's pretty short with Save and Quit.
I mean,
sorry, we're going there next. Yeah, Ayers Rock. I mean, we'll talk about it when we get there, but it's very love it or hate it. Kind of Aqua Rock is as well, even in the speedrunning community.
Any of the rocks, it's like you either love them or you hate.
Yeah. I think some people like. I think Bowie the hero, he likes Aqua Rock even in the speedrun because I don't know, it's chill. In no save and quit, it happens. When do you do it? Like 2 hours into the run. It's not that hard a dungeon, so it's like a nice little sort of chill, relaxed time. Alright, we're almost done with the outside. Oh, actually, I lied. There is a trick we can do here. It's like the easiest puzzle skip in the entire game. You're supposed to push like blocks into the water stream, but you can just hold... if I can do it, you just hold upright and you just run straight through. So you don't have to bother with any of the pushing puzzles.
But that's like half the game.
I know. It's alright. There's plenty of pushing puzzles. There's one very long pushing puzzle in this dungeon that we're coming up to. Oh, not yet. It's a while away yet. Oh, excuse me. I feel sorry for whoever has to use this headset after me.
We disinfect them, so...
Good. Please donate, because I don't know how to I don't know how to vamp and fill the air for like the next 10 minutes while we do this dungeon.
Trying to think. Unfortunately, I'm running on nothing.
We do have a donation.
Yeah.
There's just this $50 from this guy, Megaslayer321A, who's just cutting in to get Flavio back into Twilight Princess, as Happy Camper asked for their donation of $33 to go to naming Link, not FX. And I can't have that. Flavio must be there.
He's always there.
So definitely not FX. Golden Sun speedrunner, does a lot of breaking stuff. He did a lot of the any percent things. Also runs a bunch of Zelda games, which is why Happy Camp wants not FX to be the name. We love FX. All right, now we're inside. So again, there is one little retreat glitch you can do here, but because I have so much PP, I would have to stand here draining it for so long that it's actually slower because it only skips one puzzle. So I'm not going to do the one thing that makes this a little bit interesting in save and quit because it's too slow. Sad. Damn. That's right, now we get to just run around the inside and run away from all these things because fleeing is faster than average. That's bad. I'm going to say the line. It's never happened to me before. Oh, he woke up. We're fine. Thankfully, he wakes up
they're
quickly.
already doing like 1 in 8 damage.
Yeah, I know, but still. He's asleep.
He's a snoozy boy.
Sleep is very disappointing in this game. If you get put to sleep in Golden Sun 1, for whatever reason, you get a guaranteed flee. You just always run away. It like kind of breaks the calculation for some reason. Doesn't work in this game. They patched it in this game.
No. Because it almost sounds intentional.
Yeah.
Like, that would make sense. It's asleep. Just walk away.
No, if you're asleep, if you have a party member that's asleep, you get a guaranteed
one
flee
of
in Golden
your
Sun.
teammates.
Yeah.
Just leave him there.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But they patched it. They figured it out, and they clearly knew about it, and they patched it in this game, which is a shame because no save and quit would be much better if you could run away from if you're asleep. Poison ink. I'm getting really bad. I have like 80% chance to flee most of these encounters. I'm getting really unlucky.
Isn't that how it is?
That is how it is. How did that miss? Are you kidding me?
I don't know.
The janky hitbox? What was that?
I saw that. I was like, alright.
This is basically what this rock is, a bunch of jumping puzzles. You use douse a few times, every now and then you move. There's a couple of pushing puzzles. There is one trick that I do get to do, though, which is saves a couple of seconds if I get it first try. But we're not... Oh, actually, it's coming up pretty soon.
Yes, we do all this
And
faff
by pretty
stuff.
soon, I mean here.
We do all this faff stuff so we can do the fun stuff.
Yeah. So I don't have to solve this puzzle, which is nice. It's a pushing puzzle, and no one likes pushing puzzles, because if I stand here... Oh, well, yay, subpixels. Thank you. Thank you for working. Please, can we work this time? There we go. And I hold up, and... Oh, come on! This is a subpixel-dependent trick. So sometimes it works. And it probably would have just been faster to solve the puzzle at this point. Oh, you're...
Solve that.
I'm gonna go one more time. We're gonna try one more time because it's silly, but I've lost time doing this now, but that's alright. It's the one trick that Aquarock has, and it's being a pain. Hey, there we go.
Hey.
You can clip onto the pillar if you have the right suffixes.
Always commit.
I'm so bad at... There's a few of those. You do a few of them in No Save and Quit. That's the only one that I do in this run. For whatever reason, I always struggle with that one. All the other ones, the Gaia Rock one is apparently harder or more precise, but I always get that one first try. But that Aqua Rock clear, I'm so bad at it. And that's like the last fun thing we get to do in Aqua Rock. Everything else is just run through dungeon, jump over things, run away from encounters.
Enjoy the music.
Enjoy the music. Yeah, it's very chill. Hope no one's tired.
Are you tired? Because I'm tired.
No, I'm pretty good. I had a Red Bull before I came. I'm going. I'm up now.
Anything.
You have young children. You should be used to being tired by now.
Yeah,
Oh.
I know.
Get this wrong.
Well, it's not my fault they weren't sleeping last night.
Oh, that sucks. I feel your pain.
Parents out there all feel the pain.
Yep. This is where we start. I should heal. This is where... So the further you get into dungeons, generally the more powerful the random encounters become. Eventually I get to a point where they are actually quite punchy. They can't kill me if I'm at full health, but they can get close if I get like a caught by surprise and a triple fail, double fail, which is possible. I don't think it's possible for me to get a triple fail because Isaac is way over leveled. Like the game only expects you to be like level. Where am I going? Down here. I don't know what level the game expects you to be here, but it's like 20 or something, maybe a little bit more. So I'm way over leveled with just Isaac, which is nice. Like I said, he makes game be broken.
Yeah.
That's why we get him. It's slow to get him, but it's so much faster here specifically to have him because I don't have to save crawl. I don't have to save every time I take an encounter.
Yeah.
So even though it's about 2.5 minutes to backtrack to get him, it's just completely worth it. Although his utility does get less and less as you go on. Eventually I'm going to level everybody up because I can't beat the final boss at level 3. I take too much damage, so I do have to get some levels eventually, and after that point it's like, Isaac's not as useful anymore. Still nice to have him.
Yeah. I mean, it's an extra person.
Yeah, but you could beat the game without him if you wanted to. Alright, we're getting there. This is one of the scary encounters. If you get caught by surprise, they have a bunch of AoE stuff that does a lot of damage. That's basically the reason I put Isaac into slots 1 and 4, is for that specific encounter. If he stays in slot 1 and 2, he can die to that encounter, even as punchy as he is.
Yeah. Like, with the attacks, the AoE attacks, they actually have like a distribution. And the way it works is that there's the singular target that you pick, and the character's attacks have a similar thing. It has a singular target, and then it increases by 2, so it fans out. So the targets either side of the primary target take 70%, and then if it increases the range again, it's 30%, so on and so forth. There are a few that there are a few effects that just target everything, like break. It just has like solid lines all the way through, so it hits everything. But shout outs to Shuriken in the ninja class that also does that on attack based damage. Probably the best attack in the game. So if the characters are on, because Isaac is the only character alive, and he's on 1 and 4, the enemies have to target either position 1 or position 4. But in order to hit both, they would need an attack that has like 4 cascades or 3 cascades,
which they don't have.
So they will always hit just 1, and that's okay because it means they're always going to hit Isaac, because he has, like, even though there's 2 of him, he shares the same HP pool, whatnot. But it means that AoEs don't double hit him, because that's what the issue is that if he gets hit with an AoE in both of his positions, he takes the damage twice. It does both percentage calculations. So if he was like singularly targeted and then cascade targeted, he would cop 100% and then 70% or 30%.
Yep.
But yeah, by having them separated so far, it saves us. If any of the position 2 or 3 characters were alive,
they could reach him.
Yeah, they could reach it by targeting that character, and then the cascade would hit both of them. Admittedly, it would be weaker because they're not copying the direct hit, but still. So you want something like that.
Yep. So it's very useful being able to do it. And you can only do it in Lemuria at the point where Piers has left your party, is the only time you can get slot 1 and 4.
Yeah, because the pointer character that's created by this like duped character has
if I took another
properties
encounter
based on... It's weird.
Ah, come on, why not, please? Good news, we're basically done with Aqua Rock. Oh god. Actually, I take it back. We do have some little bit of a tech. I use the jewel at the top of the pedestal because it limits the amount of slow screen scrolling that happens. Does that count as tech?
Yeah, I can.
It saves a couple of frames. It's like saves a second, but hey.
All of the rocks give one of these tablets, which gives the member in your party that matches the alignment a special element-specific ability.
Yep. We are not going to collect all of them.
No.
Which is a shame. We're not going to get sand, and sand is probably the most broken. You can do some silly stuff with sand.
We don't get the hard-earned reveal. No, we do, but
we do actually get reveal. we're gonna get reveal next. Where's Parch?
I just like how there's often a comment about how easily Ivan gets it in 1 and how difficult it is for Sheba to get it in 2. Because Ivan just gets given it. Someone just goes, "You have revealed now."
We're done with Aqua Rock, thank God.
Leave this.
We can leave.
Place.
We don't have to do it anymore. we can just sanctum warp back to apogee, and we're happy. But we're going to do a little menu here. We're going to go growth, retreat, and we're cyclone. Because under these little bushes, there's a mint hiding. Mints are great because they give agility. We've used one already on Sheba. We're going to save this one for just a little bit.
We like to go fast, would you believe?
Yeah, this mint allows the Doom Dragon fight to be possible.
That's how tight the
That's how
fights
tight.
get.
Yeah, there is. Yes, that's how tight the fight gets. There is a couple of turns in the. Where am I going? There's a couple of turns in the fight, the Doom Dragon fight, that only work because of a lot of the agility stuff I'm getting. But we'll explain it when I get there.
Yeah. Yeah, because it increases your base stats by not much, but then you get the compounding effect of the Jin's class multipliers.
Counter rate. Oh, on an attacks first. RNG attacks first. You'll love that. Yeah, I don't control RNG here because it's not worth it. Like, encounter rates are so good, and like I can just run away from everything that it's better to just run and not do the reset.
Yeah, the entire Eastern Seas encounter base expects you to be quite low because of how early you can end up
With the boat.
on it.
Yep.
With the boat. So, like, the whole thing is just set to a lower end. Yep.
So now we're going to go and do the Superior Rock. Where's Piers? There he is. So in contrast to how boring Aqua Rock was, we're now going to go do Ayers Rock, which is the most broken dungeon in this game. We can legitimately do arbitrary code execution in Ayers Rock and just credits warp. We just get the dev menu and credits warp. It's awesome. But that's banned in this category because I decided to ban it in this category because I made this category, so I make the rules, so deal with it. There's a bunch of memory shenanigans you can do. I don't do any of it, but I'm still going to do a bunch of broken stuff in Ayers Rock. You can also get another Soul Blade if I really want, but I don't need another one. One is enough.
Are you sure? Are you sure Felix doesn't need a Soul Blade?
He's actually going to use the Soul Blade at some point, but I'm not going to give him his own.
You use Spaghettio?
They're going to share
As
the
I
Soul
called it
Blade.
as a kid?
Spaghettio, what?
Because it's Megiddo or whatever it's called.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Unleash attack.
Yep, casual strats of just like spam attack on the Doom Dragon and hope you get Megiddos.
Yeah, most named weapons have an Unleash effect, which is kind of like a super crit. And they do a variety of different things. The Soul Blades one is you basically do like the meteor attack, where you just drop a meteorite on it, but it's called like Megiddo or something like that.
Yeah, it's Megiddo.
And yeah, as a kid I called it Spaghetti.
It's a shame there's no Assassin's Blade in this game.
Ah, yeah.
Because the Assassin's Blade Unleash has a chance to proc instant death, and that chance is RNG based, which means you can control it and just kill anything.
In one, the
Yeah.
spring, because there's the spring in one as well, you can get the Assassin's Blade, and the Assassin's Blade proc is a chance at instant death.
All right, we have actual tech, actual fun things happening. I'm going to do retreat glitches and like fun stuff.
Really
And
tried to
RNG
grow that
manipulation is back.
You've really tried to grow that rock.
Yeah. So retreat. Save. We get to do a hard reset because RNG manipulation. Yay. Did I scroll my notes? Rock base. I did. Kind of. All right.
The beautiful
180.
thing about notes is that they all are unique, so I can only partially pass his notes.
All right. So retreat glitch saving takes me to here, but the room is kind of in a weird state, so I can skip a whole bunch of stuff that... Oh, that's the wrong way. That was silly. No, this step should still work now. And so everything should slow down, but I take that encounter at the right time. There's a little bit of lag that happens if you hang out too long, and that skips a whole bunch of that first room, which is nice. This second part of Ayers Rock is long and convoluted. You're supposed to solve a huge, long puzzle in order to move a single pillar out of the way so that you can stop a sandstorm, which stops a room from endlessly repeating. That's long and slow, so instead I'm going to do what we call the blind climb in order to go out of bounds, solve a puzzle off screen without being able to see, in order to skip solving the main puzzle for outside. Was one of the intimidating factors learning to run this game. It's actually not that hard. There's a much harder one that I'm going to do later on, but it's quite cool because I will need to be a little bit quiet while it's happening because I need to listen to some things, listen to music a little bit, my movement. And I'm RNG manipulating through it, so I take an encounter to leave at the right time. because why not? So you're supposed to like go left here to the right here and solve a whole bunch of stuff and jump up and down and use whirlwinds in the right spot, but it takes forever. So I'm not going to do that. I am going to force an encounter here though. Hey, I didn't even have to force it. I'm going to run. Is it step? Step press. We go from here. And we retreat glitch, and now if I climb up this ladder, the loading zone is gone, but the next room is actually still loaded, so I can just solve the next room without being able to see. Oh, did I really miss that? There we go. There we go. So the nice thing is, when you are on a ladder, you can't open the menu. So I can always tell when I'm on a ladder, because the menu doesn't open. So now we're climbing up. Little screen shake. Another little screen shake. Waiting, another one. So now I'm moving the pillar out of the way that I had to solve the puzzle to move out of the way. And if I backtrack, I'm now on the ladder. There's the top of the ladder. I take an encounter here, eventually. This takes me out of retreat mode, so loading zones are back again. I load back into this room, and now I've skipped the puzzle. Woohoo! So what I did there was I climbed all the way up the ladder on the left, across the top, down the ladder on the right, and moved the pillar out of the way. And then went back up the ladder, took an encounter at the top, and because this screen just loads endlessly, it's like a loop until you use that whirlwind, it just takes me to the bottom, and I can just bypass the puzzle. This is a very love it or hate it dungeon. Casually, it is the second longest dungeon in the game, which is weird because it's actually an early game dungeon. I'm doing it very out of order. You're supposed to have done this a long time before, or generally before you get peers is when the game intends you to do this. And it takes a long time, and the interior is a maze. Like, you spend 2 hours trying to get to the interior, and it's like a third of the dungeon. And it's a maze. It's hard to know where you're going. But save and quit makes this dungeon silly because they didn't know about retreat glitch, which is why they made the mistake. But they made the mistake of having a backdoor entrance to this dungeon in a room with a bunch of other doors. So we can use that to do wrong warps, we can use it to do save and quit stuff, and we're going to do this dungeon very, very quickly. But first we have to get to that back door, which we call the Bowie door, because Bowie was the one who went through it and made everyone, or made Plexus specifically remember that, hey, that changes the retreat map. What can we do here now? That's when we found the first Soul Blade, or when Plexus found the first Soul Blade. Middle of a Let's Play. He's like, Bowie, go through that door, go retreat glitch, open this chest, see what you get out of it. And it was a Soul Blade. It's like, oh, that's fun.
Road is casual playthrough.
Yeah. I think it was
an endgame weapon, like,
yeah.
at the start. Enjoy.
So standing in that spot makes me load on top of a pillar, which the game's like, that's weird, and so it just deloads the pillar and gets me all the way to here, which is about halfway through the interior now. You're supposed to use Whirlwind on that to activate the rock so that all of these little faces start spitting whirlwinds everywhere and you can like fly around the place, but I don't need to do that. So this is the Bowie door, backdoor entrance, and now my retreat pointer points to this room, which lets me do different retreat glitch stuff. which we're gonna do. First, I come and stand in a very specific spot, use some growths. I think that'll be the only one I need, yeah. Retreat glitch. I should scroll my notes to whatever the next one is. Yeah, there we go. So now I'm up here, kind of clipping through things. Just don't worry about that, it's fine. And all the way over here for yet another retreat glitch. I probably should have checked that I had the right PP and didn't accidentally retreat back to the start on that one. And now everything starts to look very broken. There's random whirlwinds off the side. Felix is climbing up behind the ladder, which is kind of strange. Ignore that dude just sticking out of the rock. He's having a bad time.
I mean, his face looks like he's screaming.
Yeah, it's alright. He's just kind of hanging out in the air. And that's the dungeon. Just skip the whole thing. Second longest dungeon in the game, and we just kind of cheat our way through it.
Yay.
Yay. Much better experience than Aqua Rock. Took this dungeon like 3 times the length of Aquarock and it took half the time.
Ain't that just how it is?
Yep. All right, and we're done in the Western Sea. So I say we skip all of the Western Sea to get to Lemuria, and we actually still then do a little bit of it because we need to collect all of these synergies. These are all required synergies to beat the game, unfortunately, so we have to do them.
Eastern Sea? Sorry?
Eastern Sea. Oh my god, I got my East and West mixed up.
That's me on the reg.
What even is the Western Sea? All right, now we get to do some more RNG manipulations. This one's tricky because I have to run through a town in order to do it. I tagged our Hafra, right?
Yeah.
I must have. If not,
The town with the busted ship?
Yeah.
You did.
I must have. So our Hafra has GRN advance as you're running through the town. So I have to leave very specifically. Hey, I think I did it. Long runs through towns are basically impossible to control RNG through unless you're a TAS. Short runs like that, you can actually make it work. So we will see if I get the right encounter.
Because all the NPC movements are like
Yes.
random.
They are controlled by GRN and they increment the GRN. So if you hang around too long, you end up with too many GRN advances and you just, it doesn't work. I may have done a silly. We'll see.
A goof.
Yeah, I didn't take the no encounter zone. Yeah, it's too early. It's not going to work from there.
Darn.
I missed the no encounter zone. I got the right encounter, but I
Too early.
did the I did the wrong movement. That's all right. We'll just do it again. Nothing has gone horrifically wrong in this run yet, so we're probably still ahead of estimate. Yet being the operative word. The really scuffed stuff is coming.
Yet. Strap in, folks.
Strap in, because the biggest skip in the run, the biggest sequence break in the run is coming up reasonably soon. Alright, let's do this properly this time. Pay attention.
So there's a section here with no...
There is a section with no encounters. So a lot of the coast doesn't have encounters because you end up... The encounter tiles are square, and so if you end up over a section with land on the boat, you don't take encounters, and then going left all the way into that little cove, there are no encounters in there, and so you can basically just sail through there and never take an encounter. So it extends my encounter set. So you see I haven't taken the encounter yet, where I took it around that beach earlier. So I get all the way to here before I take that encounter. Beaches in particular are really good to sail up against because there's just, for whatever reason, like no encounters along beaches. So here I'm like no encounters, no encounters, no encounters, no encounters, all the way into the river. So we're heading back to Kabombo, which is where we were earlier, where we did that big RNG manipulation in the statue earlier. We're coming back to here because there's a very useful djinn here named Mud. Mud halves enemies' agility, so he makes it so I can outspeed just about anything, which is useful against the Doom Dragon because he hits really hard, and if I can go before him, I can prevent him from doing stuff, which is good.
Because he has like 3 attacks in it.
He has multiple attacks in a turn, but I'll explain how that fight works when we get to it. It's also useful because coming here allows me to do the Gabomba Head GRN again. So the GRN, so even though you can't retreat glitch with the Gabomba Head anymore, you can still do the GRN stuff for whatever reason by just entering the head. Alright, this is Mud.
Hi, Mud.
Hi, Mud. Mud's annoying if he runs away, but believe it or not, he's not going to run away. I kind of know what he's going to do.
Quake Sphere.
I know. Crazy. Quake Sphere does actually have the reach to hit both of them.
Yes, because it's...
Yeah. Targets, it's a 7, I think, yeah. So it actually does have the reach.
It's one of the very few... Well, because, yeah, Jin do your synergy attacks, because that's how you get, like, better versions of your attacks. That being leveled up.
So this is one of my I can fail points. I'm gonna... Well, this save is not a save state save, but I'm gonna take a save state here. That save is very important for later. I'm not actually going to load that save for a long time, but it's just sitting there hanging out. Alright. So this is like this is a long-ish run through a town, but it's very easy because you just run down with like a little tap to the right to get around the pole, little tap to the left, so it's actually quite easy to get through here. Am I using the mint now? Yep. So the mint I picked up, I'm using it now because it gives me a +1 to the GRN, so it's a really easy way to get onto a good encounter rate. This one is actually, well, I say good encounter rate. It is actually still quite tight, this movement to the next town, which is Naribwe, which we have kind of gone into technically, but only because we tagged it to reset encounter rates. We don't actually do anything in this town. It just kind of exists as a stopping point to Kabombo. But it is closer to the Gondwan Cliffs, which is why I tag it, so that when I do a Sanctum Warp, I go to there instead of Kabombo, because it's faster. And this movement is also very tight. You have to hug all of the coast, and you just make it.
So the two lighthouses that we're trying to get to, the Jupiter and Mars lighthouse, they're both in the Western Sea, West/North Sea, and the only way to get through is through that channel.
Yes.
in the casual game. So you go through all of that to basically get that, like...
We can get past that grind. You can death storage past that grind, so we can actually get through that one. We don't need grind to get through that.
In the glitch categories, we can do whatever we want.
So now we're going to go to Tandaria Tower. So now that I'm this far south, there's actually no encounters on the ocean here. You're supposed to approach this from the east and walk all the way through this continent, but I can, if I get in the exact right spot, and ground the boat, and you can just jump straight into it.
This is where one of the trident pieces is.
This is where one of the trident pieces is. Okay, I need to do this properly. Don't make mistakes. We're going to revive Felix. Felix is alive. This is the single use of Parch. We do all of Aqua Rock just for this Parch. So if we can get to this door without Parch, I wouldn't have to do Aqua Rock, and I would be very happy. So Felix is alive again because he needs a level up that the others don't get for agility reasons. So he needs to be alive.
Also, it means that his overworld model won't, like, slouch over when he's stationary.
Do you mind scrolling my notes a little bit? That'll... I got it. I'll do it. So now... Hey, look. More poison. So now Isaac gets to be poisoned. Good for him. So I hope you like the poison proc animation, because it's going to be around for just a little bit while we do some running around. So the reason we do that is because... if you've been paying attention, we have another death storage coming up, and this is the big one. This is bigger than the Lemuria death storage. This is like the holy grail of death storages that we figured out how to do this. But first we have to finish getting through here because there's a synergy at the end of this that we need. This is the 0 one. We get Blast at the end of this dungeon, and Blast is required in lots of places actually. It's very useful. And again, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of skips and stuff we do here, but it doesn't really matter. You're going to do that, and also move, and also heal yourself, and then use move. Actually, there is a fun skip. I'm telling lies. We do have some fun stuff we can do. So I have an attacks first now, so I've manipulated everything to get an attacks first because we have required uses of move, which are very GRN inconsistent. But we're close enough to the end of the dungeon that I might take no more encounters. If I get good RNG, I might only take... I'll probably only take one, though. So attacks first just lets me run away. I don't have to manipulate it. So what you're supposed to do here is push this all the way to the other side to be able to move this right pillar out of the way. But by standing in a spot, you can just do it from there and push it out the way without solving the puzzle. And that works because the hitbox for move is actually, joke, conical shaped. It looks like me. Oh, I took the encounter. That's sad.
Someone brings up like a like out of bounds like Dev thing. It's just your
it's
face.
just a picture of me.
It's just your face.
But yeah, so if you stand in a specific spot, you can move that pillar without solving the puzzle. You can move it from somewhere you're not supposed to get to. There's a few places where you can do stuff like that. Not so much in this run, but other categories, you do that sort of stuff a lot. Alright, so this is Burst. Yay for Burst. We don't actually need the Trident, which is what you're supposed to collect here. So now I have Burst, I'm just going to leave. I'm going to heal myself first, though. What am I doing? I should have done Burst first. Suboptimal menuing. It's awful. Alright, so that's Tandaria Tower done. We're now going to collect an Overworld Gem. And then we get to do the big skip, which is Magma Rock early. Save over slot 2, otherwise I would get sad because I would make things not work. So what the game intends you to do now, after I've collected this gem, once you get into the Western Sea, the game intends you to go to Shaman Village, do Trial Road, which is a whole thing. Then you go to Jupiter Lighthouse, solve Jupiter Lighthouse, have a big reunion with Isaac and his party. They join you, then you can go and do Magma Rock in the end of the game. That takes a long time. Attack. That takes a long time. Also, shout-outs to Megiddo. That takes like an hour and a half to do all of that stuff. We don't want to do that. So instead what we're going to do is skip all of it and just go straight into Magma Rock, which is, you know, I make that sound very easy, right? It ain't easy. Magma Rock has crazy GRN advance. The death storage required to do it takes you through an encounter zones. Getting an encounter kills the death storage. So you need an unreasonably good encounter rate in order to be able to get in. Thankfully, I'm doing RNG manipulation. Even with that, finding encounter rates that work is almost impossible. There are very, very few GRNs that actually work. I found a really nice one that just works easily. What? Get stuffed. I did not take that encounter. I disagree, game. I disagree with that.
Yeah, the Shaman Village, you're meant to give
The Shaman's Rod.
I couldn't figure that out as a kid. I spent hours and hours just like being completely lost and not knowing what to do. You just meant to give him the rod. Because he won't speak to you until you do it.
Yeah, see, that's how I made it. I disagree with that. I didn't make that the first time.
Nah, it's fine.
I just disagree with the game. You're gonna... Oh, that's the wrong button. Luckily, that doesn't do anything. Move for the GRNs. Actually gonna collect another gin on the way there. Because I still need to collect enough gin to be able to do all of the strats to beat the final bosses. So there's the guy, little guy hanging out in here. It says chill. Hi, chill.
He's just chilling.
He's just chilling. He's pretty easy because just you can get him from before you enter Kabombo, so he's pretty weak.
Yeah.
So he dies nice and easy. We're gonna heal you again to full health because now we have HP tracking, and this is gonna work just enough. Did I write? Oh man, I love past Chronicle writing down things. This is one. All right, here we go. So now we're gonna go to Magma Rock, and we're gonna do the death storage to enter. Reunion skips basically the entirety of the Western Sea.
Does the game get weird with it because you have Isaac already? Does it get weird with it if you do the reunion, or does it just like
No, it just overrides everything. Okay. And at that point, you can't do any of the weird Isaac stuff anymore. You don't get an extra Isaac; you just get the party.
Lame.
Yeah. 68, beautiful. I so wish I could have routed this so I had just one more HP.
You were mentioning it to me before, but a fun little thing that you can do is the gold password transfer changes. It can allow you to bring the exact stats of your first game's characters across. You can use that to manipulate the current Isaac we have in our party. We can manipulate his stats using that password if we wanted to.
So I'm going to load this Kabomba statue save because I come here. This happens to load really useful out-of-bounds data for me, kind of like I did earlier with Dakin Plateau. So this gives me a door in a location that I can reach. By doing just this one GRN advance, I can now get to that door by doing a death storage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I'm out of bounds because death storage, and I have an encounter rate that is barely good enough to get me to the door, which is located up here. I just make it to here, and I then immediately take an encounter, which is fine because I'm already through. It's an attacks first, also good. And we did it, and we're inside Magma Rock. That saves like 2 hours. The fact that that works out easily just by doing the GRN is frankly crazy. It's genuinely insane that it was that easy to find, or that you have a GRN that you can get to that easily.
You're in, so...
Yeah, it's good. No, I can do the outside bit without the notes. There's only one encounter. The downside is that now GRN ticks basically every frame here. So I have to save crawl through this part of Magmarok, which is fine. Because Magmarok's a bit silly. So you saw I used burst on that thing from the bottom of the ladder. You're not supposed to do that. There's a bit of an oversight where the check for burst to see if it's actually connecting. Oh, I missed. Only actually checks the X and Y coordinate. It forgot to check. They forgot to implement a check for the Z coordinate. So it doesn't matter how far below a burstable object you are, as long as you're aligned with it, you can use burst on it.
Oh.
Which is incredibly stupid. It allows for some Lava Jesus strats once we get inside, which that will make sense when you see it.
I have an inkling as to what that might entail.
So unfortunately I just have to save crawl through exterior, which means just hard reset and take encounters and run away, and then hard reset again, because currently Felix is now the only party member that's alive, because Death Storage kills the party member that gets poisoned. And I don't actually know what level Felix is, but it's... Oh yeah, see look, burst, it just works from all the way at the bottom because Z coordinates. Actually, let's see, I want to know what level Felix actually is. He's level 8. I'm supposed to be like level 25 here. So more burst in silly places, because why not? So coming up, I have the more difficult blind climb. This is one where in Ayers Rock, I kind of just climb up and to the right and up, and that's all you have to do. This time I have to actually climb through a maze without being able to see what's happening. And if I get it wrong, there's no recovery, because you can't open a menu, you can't save, you can't do anything. So getting it wrong is bad. Thankfully, I do it just after a save because I do RNG manipulation. It would be awful if you were to do it at a big marathon in a no save and quit route, not take a safety save before, and then get lost on the wall. Not that I've ever done that at a not to be named marathon. That, unfortunately, I took a disappointingly good encounter rate. I actually do have to take another encounter right before my next save, and that encounter happened later than I would have liked this first one, which means I'm actually just going to have to run around and waste a bunch of steps, which is a shame. It's about the one time you want RNG to give you a bad encounter rate. That is actually exterior. Alright. So we are almost up to the blind climb. But before we get there, excuse me, before we get there, we need to drain someone's PP, and it's not going to be Felix this time. He's been the one who's been my retreat glitch guy, but now it's actually going to be Isaac, because it's quite easy to drain his PP by reviving everybody. Everybody gets to come back to life. So everyone's waking up again. Hello, welcome back to the party. And we can heal you. Why does he still have so much? That's interesting. He's not supposed to have that much PP. That's fine. 23, 21, 19, 17, 15, 11, 9, 7, 5, 3. We're going to go all the way down to 1. That's fine. We'll put burst back on him, otherwise I'll forget and break everything. Alright, so now I need to force an encounter at the bottom of this ladder, which might take a while because I got a shockingly good encounter rate earlier. Oh, come on. Thank you. Oh, alright.
I like how Isaac's like forward and in the middle.
Is he still dead?
Yes.
Did I forget to revive Isaac? Well, I'm silly.
Well, that's where the PP was.
That's where the PP was. I didn't revive Isaac. He's supposed to be alive. I didn't. I'm an idiot. I'm dumb. I did a silly. I didn't save.
A silly.
There is zero chance I'm getting away from that encounter. That's all right.
He was going to get you.
He was going to get me. That's all right. This will take me back before I did the retreat, the reviving, because it'll just take me back to this last save, which is fine, because now I can just revive him, and it's probably going to end up being faster. Does that count as my first kind of big mistake?
I guess so.
Sorry. Magmarok is rife with mistakes. This is probably the most difficult part of the run to do, because this is where I'm going to get all of the levels. Did I go down the wrong one? I'm dumb. No, I didn't. This is the part of the run where I'm going to get all of the levels I need, because there's a very useful enemy in this dungeon called a Phoenix that give just ridiculous amounts of experience when you kill them. So the whole point of this run is I'm going to chain attacks firsts into Phoenixes to get all of the levels I need very quickly. So let's do this properly this time. Revive, revive, revive. He gets to come back to life. You get to come back to life. Yeah, it's still kind of lower than I would have thought, but that's alright. We can drain 9. That's probably faster to hotkey, but
The
whatever.
there are certain
5,
synergies that are
3.
tied to
Do one more.
having 4 or more of a specific Jin type in your party.
Yep.
So Revive, you need 4 Venus Jin. Wish, which is an AoE heal, you need 4 Mercury Jin. And then
There's a Phoenix.
there's a few others.
Drain one more just in case I do sillies. Alright, here we go. So this is Blind Climb Part 2. The difficult one.
The reclimbing.
Yes, I'm going to need quiet while I do this because I navigate by counting beats to the music is how I get through this. So we'll see how well this goes. Hopefully it goes alright. Alright, so retreat mode and let's go. Where's my ladder? There it is. Alright. Now I should take an encounter. There he is. Hello, encounter. Hopefully my movement was good enough that I can just run up. Yay! 2, 3, 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And now we pray that I get to the exit. Yes, we did it.
Very nice.
Unfortunately, I can't go back to show you what I climbed around because it breaks the RNG manipulation, but yeah, I basically climbed through a ladder maze with no ability to save, no ability to open a menu without being able to see.
That's the one with the
Yeah,
faces
fire
jump
spitter,
out at you. Yeah.
Oh, no, there's fire spitters going side to side that will knock you off. But they don't load when you do it in retreat mode.
Okay. So imagine having to do that.
Yeah. And all of it has to be done with very tight steps because I only barely make it to this door without an encounter. And now movement at the first part of this is super important to not take unnecessary encounter steps, otherwise things don't work properly. All right, and oh, that was interesting. It'll be fine, I guess. Let's move. How much do I have to drain him to? It's 2/3. All right, so now we're going to drain PP on Isaac again. It's 5, so one more. 3, and now we're going to use burst. Unfortunately, these uses of burst are inconsistent with regards to GRN. So, well, unfortunately. It's fortunate in this case because it means I can actually just take a reset. I have to do a hard reset here to get around it, so I can kind of not have to do the blind climb again if things go wrong, which is one of my older routes did that. So we're going to take a hard reset, and now we do the Magma Rock RNG manipulations, which give me all of my levels. Flips one, attack. So set up the RNG.
There's a few places you can find the Phoenix.
Yes.
And yeah, it's like the creature you fight for experience.
Perfect. Here's for Shiva. I forgot my Jin. I forgot to do the Jin setup. That was silly. Oh, I hope that doesn't mess with my PP routing. Nah, it'll be fine. Cannon, double tap breeze. Alright. This will work now. So attacks first, double Phoenix. We go Eclipse. It's Whirlwind on the first one. Yeah, Whirlwind, attack, attack. So I get a free action in, which I can use to kill them. I do it in such a way that I end up on another attacks first, so that I can kill the next one.
Eclipse.
And then we just kind of chain this the whole way through. And I hope you like level up noises. Still going. Hey, we did it.
Technically, the increment, the amount that you get of each stat is determined by the RNG. It's not a fixed amount. So, in a no save and quit run, there are some instances where like you kind of need like a high roll, or you need minimums to go through.
Yeah, I take no RNG dependent level ups in this run because there would be a chance that it would just kill the run, that I would make Doom Dragon unbeatable.
Yeah, because Doom Dragon is far too precise at this.
Yeah. So this one is you get to go to Piers, 1 AC, fend, fend, fend. So there's a lot of other stuff going on that I'm doing here. So movement specific things to hit low movement tiles, which is I managed to do because that's one of the scary bits of the movement. But I took that encounter in exactly the right place that I now have enough encounter steps to actually get through the dungeon. This is a consistent use of burst if you use it from this side of the wall. So this will always give me the right RNG advancement, so I don't need to take a reset here, which is nice. If you do it from the bottom, it isn't. That burst being, you know, broken because of Z coordinate skips literally half the dungeon. So,
Oh yeah, it would
yeah, silly game. Alright, so now we're going to do a Jin setup to get all my Jins back.
With the Jin setting, the order in which you, if you summon a bunch of Jin that you set to that state, they will actually like recover in the order in which you like set them, so you can dictate which Jin you want to come back first on a specific character.
Yes, which I did do that earlier. I did a double tap on Breeze for exactly that reason, so that I would get the right recovery. Yeah, because it remembers, as you say, it remembers the order that you did everything in. Now there's some fast strats you can do here. I'm not going to go for it, and of course I say that, and I think I just did it by accident. See if I actually get the fast cycle. I might actually get the fast cycle now.
So you're just a fraction
Yeah,
away from it.
I'm kind of in the right spot, unless I did it really wrong and I get stuck, which is a thing that can happen. Oh, are we going to get it? Oh, I missed it. That's a shame. It is possible to make that cycle by using burst in exactly the right spot. Unfortunately, that is an inconsistent burst, so I have to take a reset. But because I'm already on an attacks first, it's only going to be a soft reset, which kind of makes things a bit sketchy if I get it wrong. Because there's no hard... Oh, I suppose I could just save into slot 3. I don't need that anymore. All right, never mind. Ignore me. I've just kind of safety routing on the fly. So we'll save into slot 3 and do it this way. That way I still have my hard reset in case I make mistakes. I can go back and just do all of this again. Where am I up to? I'm up to the Lich.
We can listen to the sounds of many level ups again.
Yeah. Yes. I need to set this guy up. Clips, fend, spire. Oh, good, I have 7. I'm supposed to have 7 PP here, so I'm glad I didn't mess it up by doing Jin in the wrong order. I want to be here. Yeah, step flash. Now, there is one point that in all of my practices, I went through a door and went the wrong way, and I've got it in the front of my head to make sure that I don't get it wrong this time, because it makes the end of this very scuffy. I have a move here somewhere, don't I? Where do I do that? Ah, yep, third burst room. Are you able to decipher any of my notes, by the way, Asti?
Some of it, yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Some of it I can tell that you've like taken a shortcut of some description.
Yeah.
Like shorthanded it. And yeah, it's like when I was doing notes and routes of my own, I had the same thing where I had some shorthands that I'm like, no one's going to understand this if they read it.
Particularly RNG manip stuff, right? It's like, it's so personalized as to what can you look at and get it quickly, get the information you need fast. So yeah, no one could do this route based on just my notes, probably. All right, so this is Lava Jesus Felix.
God, you're dying.
He can just run on the lava. It's fine, you know, totally intended.
Toasty, wouldn't it?
Yeah. He's got very warm feet now. All right, don't run the wrong way. Do the thing. I didn't run the wrong way. I did the thing. Nope.
Congratulations, you've saved the speedrun.
For whatever reason, every time I've done practice, I've come out of that door and just run down right for reasons that I don't understand. How do I kill this guy? Oh, these guys we do. This one's different. Yeah, Storm Ray, Defend, Spire. Doink. It doesn't really matter that much if I run the wrong way. This is the last encounter I need for levels. So after this encounter, I have all of the levels I need for the rest of the game. So I can just save crawl the rest of this dungeon now. Like, the RNG manipulation doesn't matter anymore. But it's better if you, like, actually get it all in one go. Yeah, I'm now fully leveled for the rest of the game. That's all I need. Yay. I mean,
in like the low 20s,
low 20s.
19s.
Yeah, low 20s.
That's enough to beat the final boss.
Yep, it's enough that my HP is, well, mostly there. I can get a little bit unlucky and have problems. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
No, it's fine.
But yeah, this is basically the minimum levels that I can get away with actually beating the game with. Because now I have, yeah, I mean, yes, you could probably do it at less, but this gets me into all of the agility ranges and the HP ranges and gives me the signage I need, so this is what I'm going with. Because changing the Doom Dragon fight would require a reroute probably of most of the rest of the game, and that's a lot, and I don't want to do it. Coming up with these routes is very time consuming and very trial and error and very difficult, so I don't want to have to do it again if I don't have to. This route works well enough.
Leave it be.
So now we're going to do... So all of this, I've done all of this running around, also that I can get to this door that I came through earlier anyway. So this is the door I entered when I did the death storage to get in here, but now I can do it by pushing this pillar out of the way. Because this will now set my retreat map to this room, which is very useful for skipping all the way to the end of the dungeon. So if I come up here, how many moves am I doing? 5? That's a lot. Why am I doing so many? 2.
What's past Conical?
3. This is slow. Why did I not optimize? I must have been bored by the... Oh, I didn't even have enough. That's all right. We can do the 5th one. Watch this not even work. Because RNG is funny. So I come through this door, and this brings me into a dev door all the way at the end of the dungeon. There's just kind of a developer door just hanging out there for reasons. So this just skips all the way to the end and skips half the part. Again, skips the other half of the dungeon, really. So now I get Blaze. We often like to name Jenna 420 for this exact thing, because 420 alone Blaze. Haha, aren't we funny? Fun. Get it? Funny number.
I don't get it. Hey, Softy, can you explain it to me? He shook his head at me. I'm upset now.
Am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Hey, it worked. There's also another item you're supposed to collect here, the magma ball. Coming at it from this way, you don't get the cutscene, but the magma ball just kind of exists in midair.
Oh, what?
So, yeah. So you can just kind of pick it up out of nowhere, and now we're done with Magma Rock. That went shockingly well. I cannot believe that Magma Rock went as well as it did, because that is very difficult to do. So that makes me happy.
Boys.
I only have one more unrecoverable part coming up that I need a safety save for, so that's fun. Let's save back into there. All right, now we get to do some more overworld stuff. Woo, overworld. Woo, overworld. So we're done with Magma Rock. We're still not going to go collect the rest of the party. We're now just going to go to the last dungeon in the game. Well, we're going to do a little bit of running around and collecting first, but then we're just going to go to the last dungeon in the game. And not bother with Jupiter Lighthouse. Everyone there's going to be like, hey, oh, Jupiter Lighthouse has been lit. Now everything's crazy, but no.
They're having like a dire near-death experience, and you're just like,
So we're going to go. Sheba goes all the way down there. We go set. Oh, I did this in the wrong order. What did I do that for? Breeze, chill, and then Cyclone. Nope, not Cyclone. Wrong one.
Cyclone's after.
Read the wrong bit of notes. That's okay.
That's the other half of it, is that we're left to our own note-taking devices. And would you believe it? A lot of us aren't very good at taking notes.
I know, right? All right, let's do this again. Maybe we'll do it in the right order this time as well. Yep, that. And now we do Sheba goes all the way to there. And now, who has growth? Who even has growth? You have growth. That's a weird order. Why do I do it in that order? That seems silly. Whatever. So I do that because I'm running away from stuff again, and so despite everyone actually being at a more reasonable level now, they're still under-leveled compared to Isaac. So it's still better to have 2 of him in the flea calculation. Just because Western Sea encounters are far more powerful than Eastern Sea encounters, so it's a little bit harder to get away from stuff.
Well, you had played a significant amount of the game by this point in time.
Yeah.
You'd be getting close to what Isaac's level is at the reunion, because it's one of the things you can do at the stage. Because you just need to go through Jupiter Lighthouse.
Yep. On attack cancel. Now we do the Cyclone.
Do you think they're dizzy on the ship now after that? I feel like I'd be very unwell after that.
So we are heading to the town of Loho, which is a weird town because it's full of dwarves, and it's not ever really explained where these dwarves come. There's just this random town of dwarves, and as dwarves do, they're digging into the mountain, and they're like, hey, can you, like, blow stuff up for us? 2, 3, 4. Why did I do it like that? That was silly. That's alright. It still works. Thankfully, we have a magma ball, so now we can use a cannon, which, sure, there's cannons in this game. Or in this world. But the real reason we're coming here, we do need the cannon, actually. We can't get past Northern Reaches without the cannon. See, look, it's just full of dwarves. It's weird. This is just a random town of dwarves. The real reason we're coming here is because you saw that Ginny hanging out. That's Lull. Lull's good. Lull is the most broken Ginny in this game. It's a shame you get him so late. He's the reason the end of this game is possible. Well, one of the reasons. There's 2 Ginny that make the end of this game possible. He's one of them.
It's kind of like how Flash is at the end of 1.
Yeah.
And Flash just breaks again.
So Lull's ability is that he ends the turn. When he gets used, the turn just ends. Which doesn't sound that strong, but because I can have more agility than anyone I fight, I can put Lull on the slowest agility of my characters, do all of my stuff, and then end the turn before Doom Dragon or other bosses get an action. So incredibly, basically gives me a free turn. It's very, very powerful. Which I will use to great effect in order to, win. Where are we up to?
Magic the Gathering players be like, I end your turn. Seething mono red player.
Alrighty, collect Lull, and then I have to do an consistent run out of Loho from the Sanctum Orb off of a soft reset. So this is my last point where if I get it wrong, the run dies. So, safety. Yeah, that one. So we're going to do off of a soft reset, please. Almost did a hard reset by accident. So I'm going to take a save state because save states be good. I did use one of these save states, didn't I? At one point, yeah, bugger. This run's actually been alright.
It was pretty good though. Yeah.
Alright, so run, and the tricky bit is you got it down right and around old mate who's just chilling there. Hopefully I got that right.
We won't find out until later.
We won't find out until, well, I mean, we'll find out if I got it wrong very quickly. If I take the wrong encounter. What am I doing? It's 1 AC, defend, flint, shade, attack, shot. That makes sense.
A singular Hydra.
Yeah, and I don't just run away from him because I want to set up an attacks first for Petra. Hey, we did it. 1 AC, defend, flint. Don't clap that. Shade, attack. Why did I say anything? Alright, now I get an attacks first, and I used Shade, which is a nice Djinn that I need on standby anyway in order to use Eclipse. So now we're going to go get Petra, which is one of the other broken Djinn, where Lull ends the turn immediately. Petra removes one of the enemy's actions, which is also very, very good. How do I kill Petra? It's amazing that I don't know these strats by heart. Attack, Spring, Wheeze, turn 1, turn 2, Spire, Defend, Eclipse, Breath. Yeah, we can do that. Spire, Defend, Eclipse, Breath. Alright, now we get Petra. We got a couple of Djinn still to collect before the end of the game. So the Djinn count that I need is everybody has at least 4, is basically what I need. So then I can do cycling. I also have basically all of the right gin that I need in order to do the strats I need to do, but everyone needs 4, particularly Jenna, who will be using Wish, which is kind of a weird person to use Wish on, but that's just the way it works out. No one else can really do it.
What's the percentage reduction for Shade? Do you remember?
It's quite a lot. I think it's like 70%. It's quite a lot. Shade's really good.
Yeah, because I'm like, quarter, well, Granite is 50,
Granite is
Flash
50,
is 90.
Flash is 90. I think Shade is 70%. It's very, very useful. Yeah. So I'm going to do another little risky strat here, but, you know, I can save to do it. Oh, yeah, so the reason I do all of the run through the overworld, by the way, is I now get 2 attacks. I'm on a double attacks first, so my next 2 encounters will be in attacks first, which means I can do... Oh, that's not going to work. Which means I can do less save crawling in Northern Reaches. So this is a cool trick. You would never, ever, ever do this in No Save and Quit, because you can get stuck and end your run here, which I might from this position. Oh, yeah, see? I got stuck. Oh, no, I can't get off. So now I got to reset. If you did this in No Save and Quit, you're like 5 hours into the run, and that would kill the run. So you would never, ever, ever do...
All for 1 gin.
When I had the TLA No Save and Quit record, I actually did this strat. It was... Oh, come on. It was very, very scary. Come on. Let's... I want to do this. Yay, we got him.
It's the most, like, innocuous thing.
Yeah.
Like, on paper.
So that works. I bounce. It raises my Z coordinate so I can interact with him. It's not quite frame per. You have a couple of frame windows on the bounce to do it, but it's very specific setup so that you don't accidentally get stuck. Which I did once, but... In Save and Quit, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I did the reset there to try and show it off, but I can actually interact with him from on that ledge and then just do a Sanctum warp back to Loho when it's fine. But it's, you know, show off the strats. So I have the reason I do the double attacks first setup on Petra and that Hydra and running basically from Magmarock to here is because in this region, GRN is incrementing every single frame. So you cannot control GRN through here, which is a shame because we could death storage through here if we could control GRN, probably, maybe. Yeah, it means I just set up a double attacks first. Hopefully I only take 2 encounters. This has been unreasonably good RNG. Oh my god, I might get through here in 1 encounter. I've never seen that. Like, that is insane that I got through this with a single encounter. I have legitimately never seen that.
Marathon.
That's awesome. Marathon RNG. Let's go. I should scroll. Watch me now take an overworld encounter, which is unusual. We're all waiting for it now. Oh, hey, we made it. Man, if I get all the way to Mars Lighthouse, I'm going to be sad because I have to take a hard reset in Mars Lighthouse to set VRN.
And burn, yeah.
I know, I burned my free attacks first. So now we're going to collect Mold. Mold is another very sneaky good Jin. Like, his ability is fine, but he does other stuff that is crazy, like, just weird. He does BRN shenanigans, it's weird, so I like Mold. Lull is still the MVP of even in Save and Quit routes, but Mold is a close second. Mold makes some of these fights possible.
Yeah, the Jin get a bit more fancy with like what they do
in
2. A lot of the ones in 1 are like stat boosting or damage.
So it's been a long time, but we finally have another cutscene. We haven't had a cutscene since Lemuria. It's crazy how good of a stretch we get in this category of not having to mash anything. But now we get these guys. They're like, you know, Jupiter Light, all the other lighthouses have been lit. It's awful. Now we're all going to die because Mars Lighthouse is going to disappear. And whoops, Cast and Negatio have gone in and like they haven't lit the lighthouse yet. And we're sitting here like, who are these guys? The main antagonists of this game?
Not seen.
We saw Cast very briefly.
she gave us a passing comment as we walked past.
Exactly.
The long and short of it is that when Mars Lighthouse was lit, this place was not a frozen wasteland, and these people are all like Mars adepts, so they like warm, and it's very, very, very cold. But I believe because the world is like shrinking / falling apart, Mars Lighthouse is on the verge of just like dropping off the bottom of like the edge of the Earth or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see the edge of the world. You just run right up to it.
So they're like,
Right, look, there's the end of the world. There's a big hole. Mars Lighthouse about to die.
yeah, so they're like,
I
we're
can-
running out of time.
I cannot believe I have to waste one of my attacks first. That is, I mean, I've
Yeah.
never been more upset to have like unreasonably good RNG. Actually, no, I said that twice this run. Actually, I should stop saying that.
We haven't
All right.
even gotten to the scary bit.
Mars Lighthouse. Mars Lighthouse is a weird dungeon for RNG manipulation because there are some regions you can't manipulate and some you can. So it's a nice combination of trying to end things on attacks first so that I don't have to do too much save crawling and doing some tricky manipulation in regions where I can. So the first bit's actually not too bad. Like, take a little Wonderbird encounter, one attack cancel, defend cancel as I do them because they're ever so slightly faster. You just missed the door, that's fine. How do I kill this dude? 1 AC, attack, spire, attack. Force an encounter here. That's not the right encounter.
I think you were meant to step move.
Did I forget a thing?
Step move?
Oh, I forgot a thing. It was early morning.
It is the early.
It is still the early morning. I don't.
8:20.
I've no idea how we're doing on estimate, but it's all right. We only have this dungeon.
You have like a full hour.
Yeah, this dungeon.
clock this
This
off.
dungeon takes a while.
Yeah.
That's the wrong. What am I doing? We're gonna use
Let's
this.
hard reset the brain.
We're gonna use this full hour just trying to get this very first manipulation of the dungeon. Oh my god. It's alright. Third time's lucky, right?
Oh yeah.
Alright, let's go again. Let's go through the right door this time, literally. Hey, little bounce. Let's remember to do the step move. There we go. Now I should get my doodle. Wait, what did I say?
Madoodle. Which is what it says
Phrasing.
in the notes, yeah.
It's a doodle bug. Because they're little, shockingly weak encounters. Hey, we got my doodle. Attack, spire, attack.
They called Doodlebug, I forgot.
These guys are kind of weak, which is why they're really nice to RNG manip. A bunch of weak ass attacks and a spire and he's dead. Want to hotkey pound and use pound. So remember I said earlier there was one use of grind that we can't skip yet? We're about to use that use of grind. If anyone can find a way to bypass using grind on this thing and still get to the door, please tell me, because then we don't have to go to Lemuria.
That's a lot of time.
There's a lot of time. 15 minutes of cutscene mashing. Saves the whole 15 minutes. But then we wouldn't get a clip, so I'd have to do judgment strats on things. So it's, you know, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, true.
All right, so I have an attacks first. I lose GRN control in that run through the lobby, by the way. The snowstorm kills my GRN, so I don't know what my next encounter is going to be. But I have an attacks first, which is enough that it can kind of get me to my next reset point, as long as I only take one encounter and I don't get too screwed over by the encounter rate. That was kind of crap. That's all right. We can make this work. It's not the end of the world. We can make this work. So
Tend not to get encounters in puzzle rooms.
yeah, you do on these little down bits. All right, so this is a skip that is kind of silly. So if I stand here and do a reset, you can do this without a reset, but it's easier to do it with a reset, and I get a free, and I have to do a reset anyway. So yay for that. The fire that actually pushes you off will push me off that ledge, spawns from the top of the fire spitter, and it takes a little while to spawn in. So by positioning myself just right, I can load in, run to the right, and hopefully I get there. Oh, I thought I was going to be too high. That's a shame. You can run straight there. I was hoping to get it first try. There's some sub-pixel weirdness that can happen with how you set it up, and I got it a little bit wrong. I should have gone back and tried again. Oop, wait for him to move. We'll try it again. I think I'm still too high. That's better. Alright, let's try this again. Hopefully it works this time. If not, I might end up having to do it the backup way. This is supposed to be the easier way to do it. Please work. Hey, there we go. We got through. That is an incredibly dumb skip, which is why we call it dumb skip. Where am I in my notes? Over there. It's an incredibly dumb skip, which is why we call it dumb skip. Is there a reason I'm not getting my encounter here? That was interesting. And that's pound. God damn it. I changed my hotkey. This is going so well.
Everything was doing so well.
This run was going really well right up until now.
That's fine.
That's alright. We'll live. Hopefully we still have time. Alright, thumb skip again. Hey, look, it worked again.
Wow.
That's crazy. An incredibly dumb skip, which is why we call it dumb skip. Alright, let's do this properly this time. There we go. These aren't even the hard parts of the RNG manipulation. These are like the easy, the gimmies.
You're just getting the faff out of the way now.
Yeah, these are the gimmies. A couple of the hard ones are coming up. Now I come through here. Is this a step lash? It's a step lash. I'm just double checking everything before I do it. Let me see. Yep, same. Let me see. Attack, spire, attack, attack. So this gives me another attacks first setup. It's basically the same attacks first setup that I did last time. It's the same BRMs, which is why the same manip works. Now there is a faster way to do this room by going right side. You can do this room with a single pound, but it's very tight window and I don't want to suffer through getting it wrong a bunch of times. So we're going the slow way. Out of the way. Yep, perfect. I have to wait slightly. Oh, not perfect. That's... it didn't work. That's not good. I have to get through that corridor. That's bad. This manip is not working so great. And it's only partly my fault.
It's only partly.
I don't want to have to resort to... I don't want to have to resort to save crawling for ages. So we'll try it one more time. Getting through the pound room is tricky. But we'll see how we go. Run away from you. Yeah. Because the big fireball does silly stuff with GRN, you have to... The timing has to be a little bit specific to get through the pound room. Blaze. But it's worth it because then I get to the next gin on an attacks first, which is nice. I don't know what happens off a hard reset. I can try it, but I might get wrecked. We'll just do this again. I just got a bit unlucky with the GRN, I think. Attack, spire, attack, attack. Hopefully it works this time.
You scrolled past it, so...
Yeah, I'm confident. The game can feel my confidence, right?
Oh, yeah.
And on that one.
What is it? The Messiah factor?
What?
In games where there's drop rates and whatnot, it's called the
Oh,
Messiah
come
factor.
on!
Did I just show?
This is driving me crazy. This is not even the hard part of Mars Lighthouse.
At least you keep showing off the first dumb skip.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we have a few more dumb skips to do as well, unfortunately.
That's fun.
So this is dumb skip. It's a dumb skip. Woo! Woo! Yeah. No, this is... this run had to go wrong eventually, right?
I mean, yeah, you've done so well right up until this point. That's fine. Just go through it.
All of this just to get to the next gen. If I fail this time, I'm just going to try and hard reset him. I don't actually know what he would use on turn 2, but that's fine. Makes the next lot of manips a little bit... Oh, no, I can't. I have to get this right. It doesn't work if I don't. All right. Oh, almost forgot the lash. Because the next one's a soft reset, so I kind of have to get this right. I mean, I can just save crawl, but it's slow. probably would have been faster than this, though. All right. I was going to say third time lucky. How many times is this now?
In this room, third time.
First try, baby. Yeah, baby. I am confident. Please don't give me an encounter. Please. Hey, we did it. We made it. Only took forever. 1, 2, 3. Do it. We're going to set mode and that. And that and that. Right, yep. And you get to heal everyone. And move. Alright, we're going to collect the last gin. Bomb. This guy. Normally we just ignore this dude, but he's really easy to quick to get to. So I'm actually going to collect him this time. How do I kill him? Mold, Eclipse, Echo, Diamond Dust. We can do that. Mold. Where's Eclipse? Eclipse. Echo, Diamond Dust. So mold is sneaky good. Mold, for whatever reason, kind of rounds the RNG in weird ways. So when enemies use multi-target attacks, if they target 4 people, you get a BRN off each of the 4 people. If they target 3 people, you get a different BRN advance. If you then use mold after that, it kind of equalizes both of those onto the same BRN. So you can gain BRN control during a fight, which is really, really useful when you're fighting bosses that aren't easy, like 1 or 2 turn fights that have multi-target attacks. You can keep consistent BRNs, which is really, really nice. It makes one of the upcoming bosses possible. So that's nice. Now we get to do dumb skip again, but now we get to do it off a soft reset, so hopefully I don't screw it up this time. Oh, I got that very wrong, so we're going to have to wait for him. So we get to do this again. I should scroll my notes so I know what I'm doing. Work first time this time? Why is this being silly? This is supposed to be the easy way to do dumb skip.
It is the dumb skip.
I've never had this much trouble with dumb skip before. At least not reset dumb skip. No reset dumb skip. Everyone has trouble with that sometimes because it's silly. But reset dumb skip's supposed to be easy.
You're just getting all the bad RNG out of the way.
Yeah.
Before.
Okay, I don't understand why that's not working, so we're going to try it the other way.
The other way.
I don't understand why that's not working. Clearly I'm doing something wrong, but I have no idea what, so we're going to do it. We're going to try and do it this way. No, that didn't work either. Yeah, this is... I do not understand why I'm not getting through. I can stand 1 pixel closer, but...
Ooh.
Try that. Maybe I took 1 little movement without moving pixel. Maybe I just had bad sub-pixels. That's why it was being annoying. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, I must have just been on had bad sub-pixels.
Yeah, that's a tiny step.
Yeah, that's alright.
It's okay.
I'm just
still on it.
I'm just gonna blame the sub-pixels.
Yeah.
Like any
things we can't see.
Like any good speedrunner, it's the sub-pixels' fault.
It's the thing beyond my control that caused it, not me. I just blame one of my random friends. It's always their fault.
I have there's a frame perfect trick coming up, and the way this ride's going, I'm debating whether or not I should attempt it. So now we're gonna burst this guy. I don't have burst on a hotkey still. It's gone, isn't it? Pounds there. I debated just hitting a hotkey and saying, yeah, burst is on that, but no. If I get it wrong, everything dies, and I would just mercy kill my own run. I don't even remember if I hotkeyed teleport. Where am I? Okay, save skip. You know, I'm going to go for the save skip, because why not? It only costs a little bit of time if you get it wrong. It's not that punishing. And I got it in practice yesterday, so
That's always
feeling
fun.
confident, yeah. So I don't actually have GRN control anymore because burst is silly. And I've run out of attacks first, so if I take an encounter, it's really bad. Thankfully, none of these rooms have encounter steps, so I can just keep running right up to the point. All right, this is the frame perfect trick. Hopefully I get... Well, actually, it's 2 frames, but we'll call it frame perfect.
It's close enough.
It's close enough. Ah, I missed it. So there's a 2-frame window where you can open the save menu, and if you save the game and load in, you don't get pushed all the way down. You just get stuck there, and you can run straight past this puzzle. I didn't get it. That's a shame. Not the end of the world. There's no encounter steps in any of these rooms, so it doesn't mess up RNG or anything. It just costs a bit of time. I'm going to run all the way to my next save anyway. So it's fine. Alright, we are almost to a boss fight. When was the last time we did a boss fight? Was King Scorpion all the way at the start? Like 20 minutes into the run?
Yeah, the actual boss fights.
There's no encounters here, yeah. Unless we count like the Aqua Jelly as a boss. This is the chest that has the Soul Blade, by the way. We already have one of them.
With the amount of a fight of it put up, I'm not going to say it's a boss.
Yeah. Hard reset.
It turned into a fine mist when you were done with it.
3 AC doodle doodle. Excuse me. Double inputs. Everyone loves that. Oh, I'm quite nervous for this next boss fight because it's quite tricky. End of hallway. Where are we going? Where am I? Up Soul Blade. Step pound. Okay. Couldn't remember if I had to step or not. Alright, let's scroll for notes. I haven't memorized these menus, so I'm just going to do it off my notes. Make sure I did this right. Yay, we'd made it. Alright. So, what are we doing? We're going right, left, right, left. So we're going to do a party setup. We're now going to give you the Great Sword. Felix gets the Soul Blade. We finally get to use the wild code that we collected all the way back in Lemuria. Set all. I said set all. Petra, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. There. Spritz and cannon. To mud, bomb left for breath, bomb for breath, yep, all right down, there, and then chill for sprints. Alright, that's my setup. So now we get Wish, which is a nice party AoE heal. And we get to fight the Flame Dragons, but I've got to take a reset first. These guys are really, really hard because I have to use a burst in order to, like, free them, which kills my GRN control. So I don't have GRN control of this fight. I can only control the BRN, and I can only do that because Mold rounds out the BRN after multi-target attacks that they use. And even then, there are still some variants that you can get in the fight. So I'm going to focus for this fight because this is more difficult. This fight is actually more difficult than the Doom Dragon fight. It's shorter, but it's much more stuff can go wrong if I do things wrong. Go to Sheba, Shade. So you go for Sheba. What am I doing? It's Shade, Petra, Mud, Eclipse. On the wrong one. Of course I did it on the wrong one. We'll try that again. Screwed up the very first turn. Shade
Just get
Petra,
them out
Mud
of the way.
Eclipse too. Yeah, just getting them out of the way. We'll take this fight slowly.
You can cast summons without the requisite Jin as long as the Jin are ready by the time the character uses the summon. And Shade always goes first, no matter what.
Yeah, some Jin have priority, so they will always go first, no matter when you use them. So Shade, Petra, sort of Jin that do status some effects to like heal you or
Special status effects.
Alright, I'm going to focus on this fight now because I don't want to get this wrong. So it is Shade, Petra, Mud, Eclipse 2. So Shade, Petra 1, Mud, Eclipse 2. Then it's Sheba for Felix, Granite Wish, Mold 2, Judge 2. Granite Wish, Mold 2, Judge 2. I'm going to take this slowly. So we got Felix, Granite, Wish, Mold 2, Judge 2. Judgment is a great summon because it actually gives you consistent GR in advance. Not that it really matters in this fight. Jennifer Sheba, Lol, Kite, Felix, Spritz, Flint. So healing, very nice. Dragon. Lol, Felix, Spritz, Flint. So Jennifer Sheba, Lol. Whoop. Oh, where's Kite? Kite, I already forgot what I was doing. Kite. Spritz, Flint 2. So Kite will give Felix 2 actions on the next turn. So I spend Sheba's action this turn to give Felix 2 actions on the next turn. And then Lull ends the turn before they get to do anything, which is really nice. Shade, Eclipse 2, Mud, Echo 2, attack 1. So Shade, Eclipse 2, Mud, Echo 2, attack 1. So Shade removes, I think I'm fairly sure it's 70% my HP of damage taken. Mud just because I need some Venus Gen. Eclipse because lots of damage is good. Fiery Blast. This turn is questionable. This is a Meteor Blow. This is bad. Okay, good targeting. Meteor Blow is the bad move on that turn. That's a shame, but that's alright. Sheba for Jenna. What am I doing? Petra 1, Mold 1, Judge 2, Mold 1, Judge 2. So the one on the right, the little one, will die on this turn, which is nice. Most of the scary stuff is out of this fight. Targeting's not going to matter after this anymore. And he's not going to be able to do any more damage to me because I can basically remove all of his actions. So that's nice. Lull, defend, C, steal. So Lull, defend, C, steal. Granite Petra, attack, Judge. Granite Petra, attack. Judgment. Unfortunately, I did get one bad targeting, so I'm not going to end this fight with an attacks first, which is a shame, but it's not a big deal. It just means that ending this fight on an attacks first gives me, it saves 1 reset, so it's not that bad. Attack, and he dies. Hey, we did it.
Good stuff.
That is a sketchy fight.
Oh no, it was people the whole
it was
time.
people. Yeah, they're going to talk to us as though we know who they are, but we've never seen these people before in our lives. Well, we saw Cast very briefly. These are the main antagonists. They're supposed to have followed us basically the whole game. We've fought them once before already. But, like, well, it's not. Just I said no. Felix, is that you? No. I don't know who you people are. How do you know me? Alright, so this is only halfway done with this dungeon, by the way. We've now activated Mars Lighthouse. Now we have to go and do the wings. And we're going to start with the Mars wing, which is the hardest. And they get progressively easier after that, thank God. Alright, we're going to retreat. I'm not going to take... I should take a hard reset.
And a wish.
Sorry?
And a wish.
Yeah, the wish doesn't matter. I don't care about the wish. Healing doesn't matter when you're RNG manipping.
True.
Alright, we're going to take a hard reset here because we've got to take it somewhere, and this is where encounters start. Yeah, I got bad targeting in that fight, which meant I got the meteor blow turn instead of a cage turn. If he uses cage, then I end up on an attacks first. But
Yep.
it doesn't make a big. Like I said, it saves one reset. It's not that big a deal. I can't really RNG manipulate through these anyway, because as soon as I go back outside, which I'm about to, I lose control. So I have to take resets once I get into the wings regardless. So
Yeah.
it doesn't save much. So this part of the dungeon, you have to go into each of these 4 wings of the lighthouse, solve a couple of puzzles, and light the wings. And that will give you access to the top and the final boss fight. Each of the wings is has like an element. We're doing Mars first because it's the most difficult. I always like to start with the harder ones. And they get progressively easier as you go along. But Mars has some cool tech in it that I'm going to try and do. It means I have to do some slightly slow fights, but we're going to try. Unfortunately, I can't manipulate encounters to get there. I mean, theoretically I could in here, but as soon as I come outside here, this snowstorm increments GRN every single frame, so I have no RNG control, which is a shame. I kind of wanted this. That was again another good encounter rate that I didn't really want to have as a good encounter rate. But whatever, it's fine. We're going to do some fun stuff in this room. We're going to go... it's the wrong way around. We're going to go Blaze Burst, and we're going to use Burst. So there's a skip you can do in this room. Very, very uncommon to get. Have you ever seen this?
Yeah.
So it's very uncommon to get this skip in a no save and quit run, but I can do it in save and quit. I just have to force an encounter here first. Actually, I'm going to have to do 2. I should have already done my save and reset. Alright, we're going to force an encounter on an attacks first. This is probably going to cost me time doing it, but it's fun to show off.
And we like fun here at AusSpeedruns.
Also, it allows me to try and RNG manipulate the next room, which is the worst room in the game. I'm just going to do this because I need to force an encounter. Alright, perfect. That wasn't too bad. Alright, now we're going to do another save, and now we're going to set up our RNG manipulation. And hope. And take one very slow encounter to get a double attacks first. And hope that this actually works. Sometimes it doesn't work. It's a bit inconsistent because there are uses of move. So, fingers crossed I'm not doing all of this just to do a slower strat. Alrighty. So movement across here, very specific in my timing. Gotta cut that corner a little bit, which is good. So by doing this movement, I'm going to take an encounter at a very specific time to make an item despawn that allows me to skip solving part of this room. So I'm going to wait, there he is. Hey, we got it, nice. Well, I still got to do the thing first, right? Attack, 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 attack. And now I'm going to do some BRN manipulation to get to an attacks first. But here's Ray C mold attack. Here's Ray C mold attack. Being very careful not to accidentally miss input and make it all die. How do I? It's just flints, right? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fend, fend, fend. Flints. So now the Akamana will die. Excuse me. I get an attacks first, and you see this brazier has disappeared. Or brazier has disappeared, so I can just run straight through there. And into the next room. This is the worst room in the game. This is the Akamana room. This has, for whatever reason, the highest rate of encounter steps in the game. And the encounters in here are brutal, so I'm trying very hard to RNG manipulate my way through here. Because it's awful if you don't do it. But there are uses of move, and move is inconsistent. So we have to kind of hope that I just get the right advances and I don't have to save crawl everywhere. That is to the wrong encounter, I think. Oh, and I did too many attack counters. All right, whatever. Well, we killed it. That's fine. It's I gotta don't want to do that. It's really sketchy, this room. I just got bad RNG advance off of that move, and so it just makes it not work. So now I just save crawl and run. It's a shame, but this is why we do Mars Wing first, because Akamana Room is awful, and we just want to get it out of the way. It just means we save crawl.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a shame.
This is the casual strat.
Yeah. Because if it works, to get through here with 3 encounters and I leave on an attacks first. So it's actually a really nice strat when it works, but you need 2 good advances from moves. The first one, I'm surprised I didn't even get the first one. The first one is normally pretty good. It's the second one that causes you problems. But that's okay. We just do this. It's slow, it's sad, but it works. And we can scroll.
It does.
Jupiter Wing, because we don't need things anymore. The wings get progressively less annoying. And this is the last room of this wing anyway, so hopefully we get through with just probably 2 more encounters, I think. If we're lucky. More likely 3. Hopefully we don't get 4. 4 would be bad. Oh, it's going to be 3 probably. Boo. Sad and slow. Boo. I know. It's alright, we're getting there.
It's got to be done.
Got to be done.
This is what happens when you come in at like half the level you're meant to be at.
Yeah. Well, even if you're not, this room is still awful.
Yes.
This is just bad. It's like the encounter rates in this room, for whatever reason, are just ridiculous. Probably going to be 1 more encounter.
You're always tempted to take movement after the encounter, be like, ooh, squeeze a few extra steps and don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
You're going to get rate 30 and it's going to be awful. Alright, hopefully it's the last reset I have to do to get out of here. But there's a chance there's probably going to be 1 more. Oh! Oh, good encounter rate. Yay, the game was nice. It took pity on me. Alright, so that's the first wing done. 1 down, 3 to go.
Thankfully, retreat works quite nicely.
Yeah, retreat's still good. Alright, next we're going to do Jupiter Wing. Jupiter Wing has lots of uses of Cyclone. And also there's the final dumb skip. We get dumb skip number 3, the difficult dumb skip. Which, given how much I struggled with the other 2, let's see how bad the difficult one goes. Again, I'm going to take kind of an ugly-looking encounter. Wow, what? These encounter rates are insane that I'm getting right now. I'm going to take a bit of an ugly encounter to set up some attacks firsts when I get in there. But it makes the rest of it smooth. If I get it right, that is. Again, there's a use of move, but this is a much more consistent use of move, so fingers crossed it actually works. But we'll deal with that in a minute when we get to it. First, we got to get through the cannot control RNG run. Am I going to get all the way there? Wow, good RNG. And I'm going to wow, really good RNG. What is this? I got to force an encounter. This is too good. Again, RNG is so good it causes problems.
It seems to be happening every time you need
like wrong one. Blaze there. Yeah, I know, right? Every time I need to like not take too many steps, yeah, it causes me problems. Alrighty. So now we're in here, I can actually set up my manipulations again. Force the encounters that we want. Very important that I take I could have just used Cyclone from standing still, but very important that I take a step because that gives a GRN advance. So I need to have the RNG exactly where I need it for these to work. Probably going to have to force the encounter too, which is a shame, but that's what happens. Alright, setup here is reasonably consistent because it's easy movement. You can just hold it upright to get there. Alright, let's see the frog. Frogman. Appears attack. Frog. Devil Frog. He is Frog. A little bit of healing, otherwise bad things can happen. Attack, C, defend. So let's defend, C, spile. go there. It's fancy spire. All right, perfect. This is why I healed, because this is why I threw the wish in, because otherwise Jenna has problems. Cool.
Just on it up.
And now I should have a double attacks first. That's Blaze. Luckily, Blaze doesn't do a GRN stuff.
Oh.
Not that it matters, because I have a double attacks first.
Sure.
So it doesn't really matter that much. I would just have to save crawl a little bit more later, as opposed to getting through here with just the one encounter. Alright, so I've got Dumb Skip 2 coming up. This is moving Dumb Skip. This time, instead of the fire spitter being standing still, it moves, which makes it harder. I'm gonna try and be fancy and go for the one cycle. Or the first cycle. Just run straight up to it and YOLO the Dumb Skip.
Fancy.
Yeah, we're gonna be fancy.
Get your pinky out.
Oh no, it doesn't work from there. I ran too far. That's alright. We tried and failed. I'm gonna heal just in case I fail it again. I might be too high. Yeah. And I did the menu wrong. Man, Dumb Skip is giving me nothing but trouble today.
Oop. That's how it earns its name.
Are you kidding me?
I like how it it will sit on you.
Yeah.
It's like,
before.
gotcha. Ooh.
Yeah. Dumb Skips gave me trouble this run. That's annoying. Oh well.
Is that all the dumb skips?
That is the last of the Dumb Skips. This is also the end of Jupiter Wing. Yay, we did Jupiter Wing. 2 down, 2 to go.
Yeah, this something about this wing section didn't sit right with me.
No, not a fan.
It just felt.
It feels a bit
Moorish.
Yeah, it's like, why does Mars Lighthouse get the wings of all the other ones, right? It's
why
like,
is Mars the big special one? When realistically, they're all the same.
Exactly.
Like if there was like a 5th tower, like Soul Sanctum Tower or something like that, and you had to do something like this, I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever.
But you know, they kind of needed content after after Reunion, because they were a bit lacking on stuff to do in the Western Sea, which is probably why Mars Lighthouse is so much longer than everything else. All right. There's my second attack's first gone.
Well, yeah, they want you to play around with
Exactly.
your fun new friends.
All right, so Mercury Wing is probably the most annoying of the wings, because unfortunately there is a consistent GRN advance the whole way through Mercury Wing, so you can't manipulate it, so I just have to save crawl. You have no option.
Yeah.
Thankfully it's quite short. There aren't that many encounter areas, so you don't take that many encounters, but it is a save crawl. Well, that was less good. But it is a save crawling, which is annoying. Thank you, Asti.
Oh, hell yeah. The fun part.
The fun part. The whole point of the run is coming up. We're almost to the Doom Dragon.
Not the Doom Dragon.
Please, I hope he's nice today. There is a chance that he causes problems.
If he feels antsy.
If he feels antsy, if he likes to target people.
Bit of a gills.
Thankfully, there's a cutscene before Doom Dragon where I can actually explain the fight.
We love exposition.
We love exposition. All right, Mercury Wing is, water and ice and sliding around and stuff. So it's all sliding puzzles, or it's one big sliding puzzle. Thankfully, I know the answers. I know how to do it.
Because you're smart?
Yeah, because I'm smart. I can figure it out on the fly.
Big brain.
Big brain over here.
Damn, he's so smart he's doing the actions before he even reaches the end.
Oh, just wait. We can do some fancy stuff as well. Oh, no, you're there. Oh, yeah, I got to do this. My bad. Oh, I forgot that I have to do some Jin stuff because I don't have it in my notes. Oh, sorry. No, you're right. Thankfully, Mercury Wing is also like a just silly, easy puzzle to solve. Like, I don't know why at the end of Mars Lighthouse they decided to put just ridiculously easy puzzles.
It's because it's the first dungeon you do, the first lighthouse you do.
Yeah, it's the first lighthouse.
They knew.
It's true.
The heroes will do the lighthouses in exactly this order.
Woo! Spin move.
360.
360s. Oh, there's the encounter. All right. It's risky going for here, so I'm just going to take the save and we'll try. If I have to repeat a tiny little bit of this, that's fine. But it is possible to get out from here, so we're going to try. Oh, is he far enough away? Hey, I still got it. Wow. I can't believe that actually hit from there. Woo,
No, it was planned the whole time.
Yeah, it's step counters, right?
Yeah.
I knew exactly where I was.
The whole run's RNG manipulated, remember?
Exactly. Make it to the door. Hey, we made it to the door.
Nice.
Nice. All right, that's 3 out of 4 done. Now we're gonna do some healing. And we're gonna go retreat. We're gonna go retreat mode. And that's 4 out of 4 done. So you don't have to do Venus Swing because retreat glitch is silly. Which is really nice because I actually can't do the Venus Swing because you need a synergy that only comes with the reunion party. So it's not actually possible for me to do Venus Swing, which is funny. I took a reset. What are the chances I take an encounter in the tiny little walk to the stairs?
You've said it, so it's happening now.
We're going to YOLO it. Please. Please be nice game. I don't want to
I
have
did
to do
notice
that.
that the notes did not mention Venus Wing at all.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the exact same as Mercury Wing.
I'm going to take a safety save just in case because there are encounters before I get to the stairs. All right, we didn't need it. All right, I'm going to do my Doom Dragon setup and then I'm going to explain how it works. Down, left. You go to there. Piers gets the wild coat now. And we're going to go set all granite. 1, 2, 3 up. Left up for shade. Kite for Petra. Where am I? Left up for lull, and then we go. And then you go. All right. And then we heal. Oh. Everyone gets to heal. Am I saying anything? I am. All right. So we finally reached the Doom Dragon fight. So Doom Dragon fight. The big problem with Doom Dragon is that, as has been true in a lot of Mars Lighthouse, this snowstorm increments GRN every single frame. So it's not actually possible to RNG manipulate the Doom Dragon fight, which is a problem because, I'm very underleveled. Doom Dragon should completely destroy me. He has actions that will put all of one party member's Jin on recovery, for example. He can absolutely crush you. The good thing about the Doom Dragon is that all of the moves that are really scary from a speedrunning perspective, that'll like really stop me, all happen on his first action, and that first action is on a cycle. So as long as I remove all of his first actions that are going to be problematic, you can kind of work around the rest of the fight by doing various stat buffs. So to do that, I only really have 2 Jin that are capable of doing that. One of them is Petra, which will just remove his first action. That's just what Petra does. And the other one is Lull, which will end the turn when I use it. So the idea for the fight is I speed myself up and slow him down enough that I always outspeed, so then I can get Lull off on turns where it's important. And then I cycle Jin in a way that I'm always summoning Judgments and Eclipses on a Judgment and an Eclipse basically every 3 turns. I can then couple that with other Jin that buff my resistance, that buff other things to gain enough survivability that even his really scary actions generally can't do enough damage to cause me problems unless he like bulk targets Sheba, then I get into a bit of trouble. The big issue is that all of that is true after the first turn. On the first turn, I basically just have to cop whatever targeting he gives me, and I don't have any of my buffs up yet, and I can't get them up yet because of the way the cycles work. So this is why I have the mint that I put on Jenna earlier is all to get her to be the right speed. The wild coat on Piers is all to allow him to outspeed the Doom Dragon's second action. But if he targets Sheba with a Blast Breath on the turn 1, she will die and I have to reset. If I think Felix gets double targeted, he will die and I'll have to reset. So it's about a 20% chance that this just goes wrong on turn 1 and I just have to reset. After that, it's a pretty safe fight. Hopefully. So we got Prockney, Judgment, where's Mud? Mud and Petra, and we hope that he doesn't do anything mean. Okay, so now if he targets Felix again, we have problems. So please don't. Piers gets the outspeed away. Please be nice. I don't want to have to mash again. Alright, we're okay. Where am I? So now we can just go do this sort of stuff. Is it Shade? No, it's Breeze. It is Breeze. And Spritz for healing. So this turn, this is the lull turn, so Spritz to do some healing. Breeze is amazing because it gives bonus resistance. So now Blast Breath is not that scary anymore because resistance will reduce the damage taken from the Blast Breath. Did that Spritz get away? Yeah, it did. Which the Shade did. So...
he's just very hurt.
Sorry?
No, sorry.
Yeah, he's just very hurt, right? Shade, Eclipse, Petra. So Petra has priority, so even though I used it on Sheba's second action, it'll still go first, and then she won't take the agility hit to the Eclipse, so that'll just come out straight away.
Yeah, the Kite's second turn is substantially
It can be
reduced.
very powerful, yeah. Where are we? C, Judgment of Granite. Earth Force will remove an action, but all my actions have already happened, so it doesn't really matter. See, Judge, Mold, Granite. So now is my Judgment turn. So Felix is slow on this turn, so the other two will get their Venus Djinn away before he has his action, so that way I can just summon the Djinn that were just immediately used. Curse Brock, that's a shame. That's not the end of the world, it's accounted for. That cure, also fine. Where are we? Quite low. Yeah. Quite low Spritz. So now we're back into the lull turn. Lull, Breeze, Spritz. Spritz is nice because it just gives you that little bit extra healing. And it's especially good now that Sheba has summoned one Eclipse. She gets a buff to Mercury power, so Spritz is a little bit better. Ragnarok, Flint, Shade, Eclipse. Alright, so this is the last turn in Phase 1. There is a 3-phase fight. Doom Dragon's agility resets at the end of each phase. So I have to use Mud again on the first turn of the next phase in order to lower his agility so I can outspeed him again, which is a shame because he's going to use Guard Aura to reduce damage on his first action. So I'm going to do a summon into a 90% damage reduction, so it doesn't actually do that much. It's a bit of a shame, but you put up with it because it keeps you on a good cycle. Wish, Sabel, Mud. Is it Granite or Petra? It's Granite. Alright, so now we're into Phase 2. So he uses the Guard Aura. Shame. Sabel as well, we call it the Time Lossosaurus because it is so slow. It's better in this game than in the first one, but it's such a slow animation. He now has access to Blast Breath and Cruel Ruin. I can no longer really control his BRN, so I'm kind of at the mercy of whatever he wants to use. Fingers crossed he doesn't spam too many Cruel Ruins because they're slow and they do a lot of damage, particularly if he targets Sheba with them. High, low, Breeze, Spritz. So now we basically just continue doing this cycle forever. It's a lull turn, an Eclipse turn, a Judgment turn. You just keep cycling through that. It's a great way to do damage. I keep all of my buffs up, I keep him debuffed, and it kind of just gets you through the fight. Now I can restore here, which is really nice. Where I flinch it. That's right. So restore will remove the curse, which is useful. Shade, Eclipse, and Petra. So that curse, if he runs out, when the curse runs out, so all those little flames go away and you lose half a flame every turn, Isaac will just die. So I have to get rid of it. Thankfully, I can get rid of it on this turn because I don't have to heal this turn. I have enough HP and Restore will get rid of it. So now he's fine. Granite. Now onto a Judgment turn, so I'm going to heal on this turn. Judge, Mold, Granite. So the reason the mint on Jenna is so good for this fight is because it allowed the wild coat to go onto Piers while still allowing Jenna to always outspeed Felix, which means on the lull turn, I'll never have a situation where Felix uses lull before Jenna gets her move away, and that only barely happens. If I took a single RNG dependent level up, this fight would break for that reason. There would be a chance that Felix would outspeed, and that would be really bad. So now onto a lull turn. Oh, a little bit of double input, always fun. But because on this turn he has 5 more agility than Jenna, she can never roll enough to outspeed him. Sorry, he can never roll enough to outspeed her. Other way around. She has 5 more agility than him. See, Eclipse. Eclipse. So Eclipse turn. Eclipse looks like a truck now that Shiva's been so buffed on Jupiter and Mercury, which is great. Really, Isaac again?
That's really want him to go down.
Again, that's a first action. Curse is the first action that I'm allowing to have. I know that it's going to happen. It's not a surprise because it just has a chance to not proc, which is nice. Means I don't have to do a restore. I can heal if I get flex stuff. Another Cruel Ruin. These are really slow. Please don't target Shiva. I still have another turn here, don't I? Didn't target Shiva, so we're fine. Let's see, Ragnarok, attack, and what are you doing? Petra.
This should end this phase.
So this will end phase 2. 1 phase to go. He only gets 2 actions in phase 3, but the second action is very likely to be Cruel Ruin. He uses it a lot. There we go. That's phase 2. Phase 2 done. Again, his agility is now reset. So Mud on the first turn. Again, it's against the Guard Aura. This time a Judgment against the Guard Aura. So not that much damage, but whatever. We can live. Judgment, Mud, and Petrol, Granite. Oh, well, it can only be Granite. So this is the last phase. We're almost there. By the way, timing ends when the Doom Dragon dies, so I will let you know. So this Judgment does like very little damage to him, which is a shame, and he's going to spam Grons. Just don't spam him into Shiva, please. Just be nice. Don't make me sweat. I don't have to do all this. Gonna have course he targeted Shiva. Whoop. Wish. Well, Breeze. Sorry, she gets a heal this turn, but I got to restore. So as long as he doesn't do it again on the next turn, I think we're okay. Restore for Shade Eclipse Petra. So again, we got to remove the curse from Isaac, otherwise he will die, and that's bad because we need him. Restore. It's Flint. Yeah. Flint, Shade, Eclipse, Petra. So we get Eclipse turn out. Please don't target Shiva with a Cruel Ruin. I really don't want you to.
He dies just so close to the end of the fight too.
Yeah.
Like 1 turn extra and it wouldn't have mattered.
Just be nice.
Just don't do it.
Just don't do it. Just use something else.
Just don't do it.
Good man. Yeah. Good dragon. I mean, you targeted Shiva, but
still
it's fine.
going for Shiva.
It's fine. It's fine because now I can wish and she's not going to die. I hope. Judgment. Is it Mold? Granite. I think
yes.
I'm like 90% sure that he doesn't do anything scary on this turn and that Jenna outspeeds.
Stop hitting yourself.
Yeah, she outspeeds. We're all good. So we should be fine now. We're almost there. Earth Force, whatever. Doink. And of course, it's another Cruel Ruin. Why wouldn't it be?
Shiva's about to cop it.
Please, are you going to target Shiva again?
No.
That's fine.
We can tell purely by the amount of damage that she takes when it hits her.
Oh. Alright, so Kite onto Felix. Now we're going for some casual strats. On the next turn, he's going to attack twice. I really want one of them to be a Megiddo. If one of them's a Megiddo, Doom Dragon dies on the next turn. If not, then I just have to make stuff up and hope he dies the turn after. So shout outs to casual strats going for the best unleash in the game.
It's a very high unleash chance, to be fair.
So let's hope it happens so that, I mean, he has so little health left after this that it's like basically anyone can hit him with something and he'll die.
Hit him with a Mercury.
Oh, she's going to watch her get the Spooky Friend proc.
Speaking of
Oh, it didn't proc. That's a shame. It would have been funny. Come on, Megiddo. It's all right. He gets another chance.
he gets one more shot.
He gets one more go at it. Oh, he didn't do it. Oh, we're making stuff up. It's all right. It's fine. As long as if the mold hits, he dies, right? There's a lot of stuff that can kill him. Just don't use this on Isaac. We're fine. We win. Ready for time, and time. We did it.
You killed Doom
How do
Drag
we
by
go?
making him
Oh,
punch himself in the
underestimate.
face.
Let's go. It's the first time I've been underestimated in ASM.
I feel like he did better by making Doom Dragon kill himself.
Yeah.
But he punched himself in the face and died.
That's true, yeah, because mold is a stop hitting yourself. Yeah, that's better. All right, that was fun. Thank you, Asti, for joining me, despite it being an early morning. Shout outs to everyone in the Golden Sun community. Shout outs for ASM. I'm going to go because we got to get out of here.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
All right, that was Golden Sun, the Lost Age, Doom Dragon Percent by ConicalFlak. In the last minute there, we got a $40 donation from Anonymous saying no comment, but that does bring us up to $24,000, so thank you for that. And that is the end of my shift, so I will be handing it off to the next host, and I will see you later.
Alrighty folks, I'll be your host for the next little leg of the marathon here. My name's Sire. Thank you for joining me here. I'll be reading your lovely generous donations and telling you all about what we're doing here today at ASM and for the next few days as well. We're just getting set up for Celeste, and I hope you all enjoyed that outstanding Golden Sun gameplay. So we're getting set up for Celeste, and we'll be back in just a moment, folks. just while we're still getting set up here, just going to remind you lovely folks at home that for AusSpeedruns Marathon 2025, we're raising money for Game on Cancer, a charity working with, a charity that rather funds early career cancer researchers who are working across all areas of cancer research to make this the last generation to die from cancer. So if you would like to donate, go to donate.ausspeedruns.com. There are several donation incentives over the course of the run. There's still a good few here. So we've got some, for example, Snowboard Kids character choice. Currently, Nancy is in the lead with $50 here. But Jam and Slash could possibly make a comeback. Who knows? Everhood's game language, the Simpsons Hit and Run Homer outfit, and a couple of other good ones. So if you do want a bit of extra bang for your buck, you can, in your little comment, type what you want your incentive to go to, and I or whoever is hosting at the time will add that to the total. And just as I'm mentioning that now, a $42 donation has come in from Kate Latte that says Celeste et Select incentive name link Celeste. So that's the Twilight Princess name creation. So I'll get that one added. And thank you very much, Kate Latte, for your generous donation. All right, excellent. Looks like we're ready to jump into our Celeste run. So Yuki, Layla, take it away.